You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn. You're listening to Santos Bonacci live on Syncretism, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. As above and so below is the holy science you need to know, astrotheology, because now it's our turn.
Good evening, welcome to Outside the Box and Syncretism. It's kind of one and the same anyway, so there you have it. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, at the helm here alongside Santo Bonacci. Santo, how are you doing?
Oh, very well, Kate. Very, very well.
Great chat last night.
I'm having a lot of fun. If you're not having fun, yeah, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, there was... Here, you want the latest? Here, let me just set the pace here. Of course, my good friend Mike shared this link with me because you know how I deal in the now, right? I'm looking for the Yellow Brick Road as it is happening in real time, and it's happening in real time. So Pope Francis connects the Vatican system with Revelation 17. Oh, what comes after 17, Santo?
18.
That's right. So here we go. A woman rides the beast. So let me just share this, and then we're going to go to town and have some fun and show what is really going on. This is where we deny the Lord Jesus Christ 3 times tonight. Again, not the Christ consciousness. Big difference, right? Lord is physical. The Christ is spiritual. So you can't serve 2 masters. Here we go. And I certainly won't be serving any fucking Lord, that's for sure. Anyway, woman rides the beast. Pope Francis made a startling admission on Saturday in Rome, admitting that not only is the Vatican system a woman, but it's also a mother. That is exactly what the Bible calls her in the book of Revelation. See for yourself. Here's the quote from Revelation 17. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. This just may be the Pope that the unsaved world has been waiting for. Well, again, we have our puppets, and I stopped being a Pinocchio puppet and started being a puppet master. So I start pulling the strings here. Vatican Radio. Pope Francis on Saturday spoke about the vocation and the mission of women on Saturday when addressing participants of a study seminar organized by the Women's Section of the Pontifical Council for the Laity on the 25th anniversary of Blessed Pope John Paul II's apostolic letter, Mulieris Dignitatem. The letter was first in papal teaching dedicated entirely to the theme of the woman, and the study seminar in particular discussed the point which says that God entrusts man, the human being, to woman in a special way. Pope Francis also spoke about the special gifts given to women in the church. I would like to underline how the woman has a particular sensitivity for the things of God, above all in helping us to understand the mercy, tenderness, and love that God has for us. Well, we are God, so just let's correct that right away. And it pleases me to think that the church is not il Chiesa, the church, masculine. It is la Chiesa, feminine. The church is a woman. The church is a mother, and that's beautiful, eh? We have to think deeply about this. Now, what is exposed here in the allegory, for me, is the duality of Rome being both masculine and feminine, and London being both masculine and feminine. Remember, I've spoke countless times about the quad. Positive, negative, masculine, positive, negative, feminine. There has to be both sides in both polarities to get the full picture of a 4-chambered heart. Okay? It's your directions, north, south, east, and west. 4 shows up occasionally, right, Santo? So here it is. Rome has to be Papa, which is there's your male aspect, and also has to be Mama. It can be both, right, at the same time, because the church, of course, is you hear them talk about the church being female, being a woman. It's been that way. Well, for anyone that was actually paying any attention at all, you'd already know that. But here's the magical trick of London, in that it is the crown, or crone from Kronos, which is the mythological character Saturn, or Kronos, who ate his own children, save 3 that escaped, and that was Poseidon, Hades, and Zeus, there's your Trinity, the heaven and hell and the in between, the spirit in between, Poseidon, and of course the crone or the old hag, Whore of Babylon, mother. So the Whore of Babylon is both in London and in Rome, as is the masculine positive and negative as well. So it's all there. It's friggin' amazing. Anyway, that's just my little intro.
Well, I see it like this, Kate. The Pope is coming out with a lot of revelations, and so what's happening is it's confusing people, right? Because he's saying that all religions are true, and et cetera, et cetera. What he's saying is the truth, because it's syncretism. They will have to admit this. So what they're doing is, they've been bombarded with the truth. And the last straw is potentially, the syncretism that has now visited the planet, which was, and which they were enemies of for 2,000 years. Syncretism ruled supreme for at least 500,000 years. Plenty of evidence of that. And so what's happening is, the critical mass that is occurring, because many millions of people now are syncretists, due to it being here. And so they really can't run away from this. So what they do is they stand in the middle ground sort of thing, and see what happens, whether they can survive the storm and how they can be flexible to these. It's well known that the Jesuits, when they try and implement some sort of a revolution in any country, which they've done for the last 500 years, they've caused all the revolutions of every kind. And what they do is when they see that the pressure mounts against their schemes, then they jump sides and work that side, infiltrate it, bring them to their knees, weaken them. They're masters at it. So what they're doing now, the Pope was probably getting a barrage of people saying, hey, you've been busted, because syncretism proves that you're just a bunch of swipes and you're telling, falsehoods. And so this is what they do. They co-opt what's happening. The other reason they're possibly doing this is because, they can't be put in a predicament of not being flexible, and they've got to show that they're changing, and they're not a stiff, ancient, draconian organisation. They're looking to get people to follow them any way possible. So you can see what's happening. Nonetheless, it's all a reaction to what we are doing. Please, as you've been saying many times on this show, we are making the changes. Like you said with Paul Jenkins, you took his position and he retires. We brought syncretism to the world, all we, i.e. listeners on this show, and everybody else who, perhaps spread syncretism around. And so we are causing this also to happen. It's happening because we have this power. Now, another thing I was going to talk about today, Kate, I just posted a couple of videos about Cliff Richards, the pedophile and murderer. And the reason I did this is because I have a very, very good friend in England who knows someone personally who's still alive, who showed him the whip marks on his back, and he said this because he was a rent boy. These are in England they're called rent boys. Young boys, homosexuals, go on the street to make money, and they rent their services out to the rich. Anyway, this guy was taken in a limousine to Cliff Richards' home, and of course he took his clothes off and got on the table, and Richards pulled out this whip and started whipping him, and this guy thought, hey, this is not right, this really hurts, and he was cutting into his bones, right? So the guy managed to grab his pants and run the hell out of there, and never said anything about it until one day he was in my friend's presence, I won't mention who my friend's name is, but he'll come out and reveal this too one day if need be. But he showed my friend the whip marks because this guy was still gay, and he liked my friend and made a move on him, and so anyway, but they got to talking about all this pedophilia and so forth, and he said that was Cliff Richards, and he knew in his heart of hearts that Cliff Richards was intent on murdering him, on killing him with the whip. He's a snuff freak like Eddie Murphy, So I posted a video of Bill Maloney's about pedophilia, and I mentioned that in the chat, right? And then all of a sudden I got about 10 people posting videos about Cliff Richards. So just go to my Facebook, friends, and have a look at those videos and spread them far and wide. Let's see if we can bring this pedophile killer motherfucker to jail, and let's see how fast we can do it, because we are the manifestors we've been waiting for. He's hiding in Barbados, of course, because with his HBEs, whatever you call them, his knighthood, of course he was buddies with Jimmy Savile and the Queen and all those other pedophiles. Let's see how quick we can get them all in jail, because we know in our heart of hearts that they will be in jail. So let's do it quickly rather than later and spare some kids. That'd be nice.
That would be great. And one other thing, I mentioned this last night, I'll mention it again. When we're going to be dealing with these private prosecutions, both names must be listed. The lawful name of the individual and the legal. You got to bring them both together, okay? As above, so below, the living and the dead. Okay, so none of these guys get away with it. And the more I look at it, the more prime target number one for private prosecution is Sir Paul Jenkins, the corporation sole for the Bank of England, which is, of course, the Crown in terms of the financials. And everything that's happened as a result of that Crown jurisdiction, whoever is claiming top spot claims full liability and culpability for all agents working below them, such as the responsibility of being the top guy. And I also look to the elected Lord Mayor of the City of London as well as being the prime targets for any private prosecutions for the whole to come down. But at the same time, we need to get going. I had a chat with Christopher today and my friend Mike. We're talking, and Ingrid, of course, regarding these and getting set up to I want to put together a check sheet. You know how methodical I am, so I'm working on it. First, mentally, of course, let the downloads happen, and then I just write it out. But private prosecution, when you're going to be naming anybody, you name them in their lawful and legal names. Lawful name, so-and-so acting as a legal dead by consent person. Same name again, of course, right? Well, in my case, it's not, but there you go. Just to give people the idea that you want to bring them in their living capacity, acting in fraud if they're dead legal fiction. And of course, any of those that are acting in any sort of title or office are by default already deemed dead by consent and serving the Crown, and are fully liable for all statutes, regardless of rank and privilege. If they claim a legal name, claim identification, claim to be part of the system, I don't care if it's diplomat, ambassador, anything that has got a piece of paper attached to it is all things papal, all things Crown. Okay, so just trying to get that point clarified so people can see it even clearer, because it boils down to a bunch of corporate shells, same thing to me, that people have been operating in, and those, of course, the unseen ones that are pulling the strings of all of these individuals. We nail enough of those, and the bigger names are going to start to get dropped. These people that have been running this dark principality are finished. Revelations 18 is coming up. That's what I seen with this headline. Again, I didn't even need to read the article. The headline was enough for me. Pope Francis connects Vatican system with Revelation 17. There's only one after that. Well, there's a couple after this, but Revelation 18 is when the whore of Babylon comes down. And welcome to Judgment Day. And if you're not seeing this game in the anagogic sense, you're missing it. Yeah. And I urge again the listeners, if you know the email addresses of any of these pricks like Cliff Richards, send these shows to them. My name's Santos Bonacci.
You're in jail, asswipe. You are a killer. We got you. You're a goner. You won't be hiding in Barbados for much longer. You hear me? And all your faggot songs that you've ever written. I've never listened to any of them because you look like a piece of shit anyway. Thank you very much. He does. He looks like a pimp. He's a dirty, filthy-hearted pimp, and he's going to jail. And I'll make sure of it, Cliff Richards. Santos Bonacci. Don't forget the name, arsehole.
Absolutely. That's the lawful name, by the way, the living witness. Yeah, we're all living witnesses now. We all have lawful names. Do not assume or presume any legal name with me, because if you do, you're automatically deemed a fraudster and one that is willing to commit premeditated murder. As I said last night, if a human being can be a person, then a person can be a human being. A goose gander. And if you are attempting to murder somebody in the legal sense, then that is equally culpable on the living side as a human being. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how many aces I've handed out here at this table, but there's an ace of aces right there. Anyone that is attempting to gain any sort of legal identification, cops, judges, lawyers, anybody, collection agents, IRS, CRA, any of the collection agencies, credit cards, any of these people that work for them are fully culpable for their actions. And I'll tell you, when you're someone had brought up and getting a credit card at something like a Leon's or something like that, what you're doing, the one that actually hands the application out to get it filled out is the one that is liable for money on the card. People are going to be a little bit terrified of touching paper. That's the problem with that Midas Touch thing.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Yeah, right? Right? Now you understand the essay Midas Touch.
That's a beauty.
So it's, I've been doing my best to try to get all this information out as quickly as I can as it downloads, and it's not always easy. But there you go. Just saying. And
my friend that has just written to me on Skype is listening in, and he said, let the world know. The name is Ray Moore. I've known Ray for
I know Ray.
2.5 years.
Yeah. Hey, Ray. How
that's
you doing?
Right.
Yeah, I know Ray very
well.
Him
to... Ray, hop on Skype and share with us, brother. He actually saw this guy. He saw the whip marks, and they're still, there years later. Imagine how many little boys have been brought to Cliff Richards' home to perish. Poor young boys. Imagine that. And he snuffed out one of his. The girls who were killed because she was investigating pedophilia. She was killed. She was murdered. This guy has murdered so many people with all that shitty music that he produced, the arsewipe, and now he's hiding in Barbados. Please, everybody, please find his email address or get it and get this to him, because we're going to get that arsewipe in jail along with everybody else. Eddie Murphy, who's into snuff. Send this to him. Eddie Murphy, you weren't funny anyway. You're a dickhead, and you always will be. And all the people that you snuffed, this is for them. Thank you very much.
Exactly. And I'm looking for Ray on my Skype here. I thought I had him. I might have the wrong Skype address.
I'll pass it to you. He's probably too shy to pop on. But he's the one who got me. Well, he sort of always likes to be in the background. He's the one that got me a gig on TNS radio with Vin back in the day. Remember we were on that show, Kate? Yeah. So Ray's been there from the very, very start. In fact, he was the first person who helped David Icke out 25 years ago, when they were just pulling in 3 or 4 people to warm 3 seats and David Icke was just beginning. He's been a truther for many, many years, Ray, and he knows his stuff. Right on. I'll friend you in a minute.
Okay, if you want to pass Ray's contact, I probably have it. I know I have it. But I was a radio host on TNS for a long time, and that's actually where we met. It was Gary, Scottish Soft Gary, from No Borders Radio, was the one that pulled me in that night. We were going to be talking about, what was his name, Russian-sounding name. Why can't I never remember this guy's name? Anyway, we were calling...
Oh, yeah, the guy who lives up the road. Alex Metrov or something like... He's the guy who was putting out all that fear porn about Nibiru coming and destroying... But he's made a joke of himself, and
Yeah, that was Retroff, Alexander Retroff. We went on that night too. That was just ahead of everything supposed to be happening with him, and we came on to debunk that well ahead of it happening, which we knew it wasn't going to happen. So, that was the night that we met. And I remember Gary asking, "Do you know Santos Bonacci?" And me, like an idiot, said, "Fuck, no, I have no idea who that is. Looking forward to meeting him, though. if he's a friend of yours, he's got to be cool, you know." So it turns out, and that was the beginning of where we're at today. It was quite something.
Yeah, good on Gary. He wants us to get back on the show too, so I just did a recent interview with him.
Yeah, he wants me to actually host a weekly show there. I'm still trying to get that sorted out. I'm going to work that out with Chris so he can take a night, and I've got Tainda as well. Still got to get her up to speed, and Bindi. So I've got what I want to do is try to spread things out a little bit with good people that can get this job done and take care of the table, which they can, no problem, right? So because I want to expand even more, and I got. Oh, by the way, the other night we did just under 60,000 at the table, so our numbers are trending way up as far as lighthouses showing up. And that's what everyone tuned in here right now is. You're all a lighthouse. You didn't find your way here by accident. You didn't find your way here because you're not awake. I love to say this. The people that tune in here are the most tuned in people on the planet, excluding the shows, of course. But they'll wake up eventually, especially when the horror comes down. They'll find their worthless pieces of paper not cashable for anything, and they'll find themselves looking to us for help, and we'll be there in terms of, when they're starving and need shelter and need help and what have you. But we'll be there. Don't worry. That's what we're here to do.
Okay, Ray, I've given you the contact there for Ray. He's prepared to hop on.
Okay. And
yeah, look, I wouldn't mind doing a show with either Vin or Gary again, Kate, because since I went to Ireland and my good friend James Swagger taught me all about the pedophile orange Freemasons that are there raping the Irish people, and since I've heard that the Irish people are starting to lift their heels up again, and they're starting to fight back, I want to live and see with my own eyes the day that every one of them are either dead or in jail. Those orange motherfuckers, what they've done to the Irish people, it just breaks my heart. I can't get over what I learnt when I was in Ireland. And they were the ones that sent the police to come and bust out my syncretism that day. And I'm sure of it, and I'm going to get them back. And please, again, send this to the orange motherfuckers. You're going down, and Santos Bonacci will make sure that happens till I draw the last breath. Each one of you faggot pedophile motherfuckers are going down. And I want to see Ireland clean, and I want it in a month's time. So send it to all the orange bastards that you know, please, and free Ireland once more from the pedophiles. Did
I mention that I was raised orange and rah-rah the Queen and Protestant and all the rest of this shit?
Orange.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray, you're gonna have to turn your radio down, or
Ray, you're gonna have to turn your radio down,
Yeah, we're getting some background feeding there. Okay, there we go. Much better. Anyway, Ray, good to chat with you again. How you been?
Is this you, Kate?
Yes, it is. The one and only, the dangerous one, yes.
Right. No, I'm just putting a little rumble through the world,
Oh, yeah. You know me, mouthiest tranny on the web, right?
Oh, fucking all.
Gotta have some claim to fame.
You again.
It's great.
No, you've been ignoring me for about the past 2 years.
Oh, God, I've ignored everybody. Who's had time to go chasing anyone? I'm too busy answering everyone. Holy shit.
There you go, mate. I don't chase anyone.
There you go.
Comes to me.
Exactly. So we're on the same boat. Excellent. Yeah, that's the thing is things are so lit up. I got to say, less than 2 weeks ago, I was looking for the 4,000th Facebook friend. Now I'm almost at 4,200. So this is an indication of the consciousness. I use that as my consciousness gauge when I see people showing up. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with the message, and I look at things a lot differently than most. So it's beautiful to watch this awakening. Of course, had to have a ray of sunshine show up tonight. So there you go.
One of you two, you and Santos, have been promising for free to send me a readout of my astro thingy.
Oh, hey, Santo, now that we got him, why don't you do the reading right now, and then we'll carry on. That sounds like fun, because it is an outside-the-box syncretism night. And Ray, I've already done it. Don't you remember I pointed out that you're a double?
Yes,
you're a Gemini with a Virgo ascendant, just like Kate. No, Kate's got Virgo moon, but you both of you are double Mercurials. That's why people call you the Magic Man, Ray. And you look like Merlin the Magician, because you've got two Mercuries.
That is so incidental, because I have an Australian Corcat and an Australian Outback Mac, and they are just so practical. No, it's not just like Merlin the Magician. It's just so practical. I've had that Australian Outback coat for.
Well, they're quite fashionable, and they're always in vogue. They always look cool. Hey, Ray, tell us the story about Cliff Richards just quickly, will you? Because I want to see that arsewipe in jail real quick.
Okay. Well, yes. Let's get back to Cliff Richards. Everything I told you today is absolutely true. And I did say to you, well, I'll come on and back you up. If you're prepared to put it out there, I'll back you up. I'm your man. You know, I mean, Harry showed me his scars.
Yeah.
And told me how he got them. And this was in about 1978. But back in 1978 and 79 as well, I also knew about Jimmy Savile. But the thing with these things is, some of these fuckers think they're going to escape. Like Jimmy Savile. He had a natural death. But it doesn't end there. That's his problem, see. Well, that's the way I see it.
Oh, that's just the beginning of his trial. He gets to come back in the mirror and be exactly everything that he preyed upon.
No, it's not exactly that. No, these sort of entities we have to learn to live with, because they're not going to go away. Like the Archons, just for something to say, you know. I mean, we share this planet with lots of things we have very little idea about, until you go out and do things, and then you come across these things and find out about them. And so yes, Cliff Richard thing. Oh yes, Harry. Yes, Harry. Yes. Oh, it's absolutely faithfully true. That is a very true story. And Harry showed me the scar marks. And I'm just thinking now I wouldn't have known he was in Barbados. Because, see, I don't chase down the paedophile thing. But I will bring up things that I've heard about, 3 decades ago. And fit it into my head and, sort of work it around. And say, what are we going to do about this then? I never missed Savile. Because I was in a certain circle, an area of things, where, I was told about it. But I was probably pining over my first girlfriend or something. Whatever. And it's had to break on the main news. And it absolutely did. But it's the secretive, real clever fuckers that I find very interesting. And one is Sir Cliff Richards. Purely, only because I was told the story face to face.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's gotten away with it long enough. I'll take it upon myself to be the big fiction buster and the buster of lies on this planet. Not because not for any other reason other than that's what I will and that's what I wish to do.
It needs to be done.
Yeah, needs to be done. I feel like little David, he goes off to war, and his father Jesse says, yeah, you go off, you fight for Israel, and he goes off to the battlefront, and there's King Saul fighting the Philistines, and then there's a valley separating the two, and there's Goliath on the other side, and he's taunting the God of Israel, and he goes, oh, bring us one of your best fighters, and he was, hacking away at all of the Israelites. This is, of course, mythology, but I mean, it's a beautiful story. And so David says, let me go out and I'll take his head off. Let me. And so Saul says, all right, well, look, I'll give you my armor. So they put Saul's armor on him, and he couldn't move because it was too big. He's a little boy,
Yes, I know the story.
Yep, and so they put another armor on him, and that was too tight. And he says, no, look, I'm just going to go in the name of my God. So he goes down to the river, picks up 5 stones with his little slingshot, and then Goliath is flat on his ass, and he dead, and he chops off his head. And so that's how I feel. I feel like, Dave, I'm just bursting to bring the shit down, man. I don't care who it is. Whoever is corrupt and evil and is killing and murdering, they must be in jail. You're right, Ray. We do share the planet with them, but we're going to share it while they're in FEMA concentration camps or in graves or in jails. That's it. That's my rules, and we're going to go by my rules from now on. That's the law of the universe, and those are my rules. And so it will be.
Let's take that story of David even further, because there's so much in that people will miss at first glance. One of the reasons why David, the whole allegory of him not being able to fit into the armor and that it didn't work, these were the false protections. And this is what it means. When you stand in truth, the 5 stones that he picked up are the 5 senses. They represent the physical aspect of the lower heaven or hell, if you will, of the physical, the flesh. And the allegory is quite simple, that you do not need armor because you are already completely armor-plated when you are standing in truth and you're untouchable. And all it takes is one well-placed truth to take the beast down. And that's exactly what we're doing. We've all got our...
And that's what Guy Taylor did last Wednesday. He stood in front of the court in full truth. And I know you don't get on with MSI radio and everything else, but I'm fully aware of that. But
who's NSI radio?
MSI. It used to be TNS.
Oh no, I had no issues with any of the hosts. The issue I had there was with Vin. He couldn't handle everything legal and fiction.
Everybody
okay.
has fucking issues with Vin.
I know, it's all good. It's all good. I love Vin. Don't get me wrong. It's just
sometimes I will talk to Vin and say, look, this is what you're going to fucking do, and he'll say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all.
And I know he's a big man. I met him face to face.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, he had a personal issue with me, and that was what, a year ago, June.
Well, I have a personal issue with you as well.
Oh, do you?
Well, yeah. So you're a man walking around dressed as a girl. Jesus Christ, I'm a Gemini as well.
Oh, that's okay. I won't judge you, Ray. I promise.
I'm glad you took that in good heart.
Oh, obviously, because I know who I am inside, right? See, don't. I know. No, I just tell people never.
Hey, mate.
It's all good. It's.
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I know. It's all about. I'm a walking, talking allegory. That's how I convey it. This is my way of waking up, because it's a surefire way of showing the reverse of the mirror of everything being backwards here to me, and then I got to walk that to show others that everything is backwards here, and everything roots back to the original source of divine feminine. That's just. Like I said, I'm just a clue. And I know who I am, and it has given me so many blessings in this curse that I have lost count. The things that I've been able to uncover from this very interesting and unique perspective in terms of all things legal, all things law, and uncovering the allegories and going on from there, showing people the yellow brick roads. So, yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Good. Now, somewhere in the middle of next year, which will be around my Gemini birthday, I will explain to you and tell you what the end game actually is. What the whole fucking thing is all about. You know, all the Alex Joneses and the David Icks and all the rest of it. I will probably have to wait till sort of around my birthday. Because I've always had this thing. I came in on this certain day. I'd love to go out on that certain day. But I think I've quite pieced the jigsaw together. And I think I actually know what the end game is. And it's not very good. But that can totally be changed.
It already is, because no one writes my script but me. I already have the end game as I see it in my lateral time.
No.
Yeah.
You're missing my point.
And you're missing mine. We're going to agree to disagree, because thoughts are inceptions that get planted in people's minds for creation. So I keep mine very, very tightly clenched to my chest, and I don't let other thoughts interfere with my script. That's why I've been able to find what I found. It's all good. You have a vision of how you see the game to end, and I have one for me, and I'll just keep mine.
No. The game will never end.
Oh, no, it's an infinite game. We know that.
But I know what this end game is. That's why I think you're misperceiving.
Oh, well, I don't know. Revelations 18 works for me, and then it moves on from there. All right.
Do share, Ray. Do share.
Yeah,
come on,
please.
man.
Yes.
Spill the beans. We're here to bring the shit down, man. That's what we're here for. We're not wasting time. We're not here to be popular. We're here to bring the shit down so we can all have a party.
Well, you know, I was in close contact with that super soldier, John Irwin, for a couple of months, really.
Yep.
The real super soldier. Not Danny O'Foynian or whatever he calls himself. The actual end game is it's quite ironic, really, that the white race is sort of given a label that it's given. And the thing is, the white race was brought here with 4 other different races. The Caucasian, Lower Caucasian, the Asian, whatever. So why we were brought here was to rediscover what was lost in places that used to be here before. Most people call it Atlantis or Mu or whatever. But the landmass was different, and it went through a catastrophe, and most people were killed off. So, because of that, whatever brought us here has decided that we know how to rediscover things, build their weapons, and find out their lost technology all over again, even from a simple car. And we're now bypassing them. And they are going to get really, really fucking pissed off that we're bypassing them. We're finding a way around and out of this thing. Are you keeping up?
Well, yeah, you better believe it.
I'm listening to the literal, and I'm translating into the allegorical. Yes, keep going.
Oh, okay. So the actual end game is to wipe off the entire white race of this planet. That's what it's all leading to. Even though we know we're good guys and everything else. But we have gone past our use now. They have all the technology. They have the whole fucking thing. I mean, but what they lack is a soul. and so we will beat them on that fucking level, hands fucking down.
Or they're already beat. They're beat. This game's over. I already see the end. It's all good. It's beautiful. This has been a spiritual warfare game of the highest order.
So fucking long.
Yeah.
It's so long, Kate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even
that's why we're here.
It wears me down.
What's that?
I said even sometimes it wears me down.
Me too. All of us. We're at the front lines here. And we're the ones that are expected to hold the light. And which is no problem for me. It's I'll have my ups and downs, but that torch will never touch the ground. Not on my watch, baby.
No, not while I'm scripting. Just as be glad that I'm sitting here scripting the thing too. Be glad, because I tell you what, man, I'm gonna bring it down. The last thing I do.
Yeah, see, I was actually talking about the whole Atlantean mindset with, people being stuck in the physical, trying to create godlike effects with physical effects, So they're still creating effect with effect instead of taking back their causal spiritual nature, which is thought, pure thought, and the inception thereof. That's what creates universes.
Pure thought going to the realms of light, isn't it?
Yes.
Pure light. I don't tend to snag myself up on that bit of it all anymore.
Well, you are the light. We're all individually the light. We have that responsibility. That's it's whether or not we choose to shine it or not and stand in our God power. This, for me, is kindergarten for angels or God school.
The very fact that you were born here gave you God's gift anyway. It's quite very subtly been distorted into a sin over God knows how many millenniums we've all been here. But my sort of point is now, we've all been here so fucking long sorting this mess out. Now we're going to fucking do it. And a few people will die, believe me, Kate. People around me actually die.
Mm-hmm. Around me too. The good news is they were on the other team.
Yeah, and the ones that die, it's probably better.
Remember the guy from New Zealand, Santos?
Which one?
Hugh Smith.
Well, yes.
He got me involved with all the Toho Raya thing, and he actually got a lien approved at the court in New Zealand for his tribes. His chiefs asked him, they said, well, have a chat to this Raymore fucking bloke. He might be able to do something. So I got so involved with that. And Hugh's liens still stand. And, 2 days after that, he died. I'm sort of thinking, this is questionable.
What, he died?
Well, I told you, Santos, didn't I?
I don't remember that.
I told you Hugh Smith, the chief of the Maoris and everything died. Oh, I know. Sometimes I will just drop you a little message. I don't have to write an essay about everything. Yes, he died. 2 days after he got his lien against the biggest courts on your side of the planet. And I've connected him up with just us lot, like me, Guy Taylor, Roger Hayes, people like that. And, how are we going to do this? And we said, yeah, we'll go ahead with it. And it gave him the confidence. He went to the fucking court and he got 140 1,000 Australian dollars or whatever they are. No, it's a lot more than that. He said, anyway, he said, look, we fucking won. We did this. And, 2 days later, I'm getting a message from someone, did you hear about you? I said, no, we're doing fine. We're rocking on. He says, no, he's dead. It rocked me back a bit on my bones.
Well, you know why these things happen? It's to signal a message to us, but this is not how it happens to us. It happened to them. So, I want to remind all the listeners that whenever you hear of, say, guys getting whacked by the elites, etc., do not lose heart. Just don't lose heart, because that does not happen to you. This is why we always introduce fear into our minds and hearts, because we see what happens externally, and there's many reasons why certain ones get knocked off. These things happen. It's not there for. It actually strengthens the ones who witness it. For instance, I probably wouldn't be so determined to bring down the Orange people in Ireland if they didn't come to my meeting and disrupt it. But now, there is a energy directed to them that will destroy them. So they bring upon their own destruction. So when, Aaron Schwartz is getting knocked off and people like Hugh that are doing wonderful things for humanity, they're just leaving the plane for us, and they've left the good work for us to, build on. No one has died in vain. Giordano Bruno left millions of people inspired forever, and his name will be remembered forever, whereas the ones who killed him, those names there, not even will they be whispered. They won't even be recorded ever, in books. Whereas the heroes live forever, and the hero is the stage in between where we are now and God. And if we don't take that step to be a hero, we will have to come back until we do. So rejoice that Hugh did what he did. He's gone. He's up there now. He's done his fine fight, and that's all he needed to do. He just needed to do that. So we've got to put these things in perspective, friends. Never have any fear. Aaron Schwartz did that little bit. We've got the internet now, thanks to him.
Well, yeah, and here, let me take this even further, Santa, because you're nailing it home. Let me just give you a bigger hammer. The thing about anyone that is still in the system, why they could take out the Martin Luther Kings, the John Kennedys, was it Alan Schwartz? Was it? Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron Schwartz.
Aaron Schwartz. Sorry. Aaron Schwartz. Bill Cooper. All of these individuals could be taken out on the spiritual level because they still had spiritual contracts to be dead by consent, and that's what the whole contract of the birth certificate did to each and every one of us. If you have a contract, and anything you agree with, you are in contract with. That's why I will not contract with anyone. I make my own choices, and I will agree with those that I will agree with on the points that my intent goes in line with, and nothing else. That's why people can tell me things, and okay, that's literal. Here, let me show you what I see in allegory. So this is why the story of David is so poignant here, because only a fool thinks they can put on physical armor, where the true God nature of ourselves doesn't need it, because you have the universe armor on. Like I've had people die around me having transgressed me. That's a literal and allegorical fact. Wasn't my choice, but again, what you said, Santo, we choose our own demise. Now, here, check out the allegory in this. See what you think of this one, guys. And it falls right in line with what we're talking about. And this came out from Cryptonymous News Network, from the LA Weekly, or Law Weekly. Listen to the phonics, right? Jeff Rothschild, vice president of Facebook, his house at 400, now listen to the address, West, what is West, left brain, Portola, Port of Law, Avenue, or Avenue, Los Altos, loss of height, fallen one. Ka, lost and fallen spirit, Ka, spirit, California, was invaded during the night by an unidentified law gang thanks to Anarcadia. He was raped by unidentified 12 African Americans while they asked him how it was to help starve to death 100 million women and children for corporate profit increases. Jeff Rothschild is currently in the hospital getting anal surgical restitution. Mark Zuckerberg reportedly visited him earlier this morning and was attacked by an angry mob of anarchists, ones who are following their heart, by the way, ruled by their heart, who were chanting that he should be raped too. There is a total media blackout over the subject, and instead the mainstream is reporting about a millionaire's house which was hijacked during the night in Los Angeles. So this is what it means to have the, and it's coming back really quick, the pendulum, the hermetic pendulum is coming back. Now, Asante, you have done the sine wave as a beautiful example to show people what's going on. Let's go 3D on that for a second. Stand over that line that's the sine wave. And if you can envision a pendulum swinging as it's moving forward, that's where you'll see the sine wave. And what's happening right now is that pendulum is moving back to center, and it's moving back very, very quickly. That's what it means. The higher the vibration, the faster it returns, and that's what we're doing. We're ramping that energy up. Like to even begin to explain the allegories as they're unfolding right in front of me right now is no words. So what do you think of that? What does that tell you allegorically? 12? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, like I've always said on this show, they can kill the body, but they can never kill the soul. And Santos Bonacci in the afterlife has got a big, big phallic that you really don't want to visit. And so let them kill as much as they want now, and they have. And that Rothschild there, he's not the only one that's going to have it up the backside. All of the Rothschilds will, including the whore of a mother of the Rothschild that 200 years ago, the slut of all sluts, said that if my children don't want any wars, there won't be any. Someone's got the radio on, guys.
Yeah, something's going on in the background. Oh, someone's playing the banjo. Is that you, Ray?
Yes. Oh, I thought you left me out. So I just picked my banjo up and I thought I'd have a little...
Yeah. Well, if you're going to play, just mute while we're talking, eh?
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I can't mute you on this end, so there you go. Can you mute, please, Ray? Ray, can you mute?
No, just mute him. He probably can't hear.
I can't mute him. The only way I can mute Ray is to hang him up. So I can't mute. He's in the call with us. There we go. So
it's okay now. I put the banjo down. Sorry.
Well, no, you can still play it. Just mute on your end. It's just while someone's talking.
I don't know how to mute on my end.
Oh, just mute the mic on Skype. The little mic thing. Just click on it. It'll mute for you.
All right. Yeah.
There you go. And I just want to bring Chris and Tainda into the call here. I know I've got both of them here. So other hosts here. So let's bring them in. Chris, Tainda, jump in.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kate?
Good.
And
I love dead air. Totally love dead air. Tainda, are you there, hon?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. I just heard that story, though, that you told, and I was just sharing that story because I live in Los Angeles, and I hadn't heard anything about that, so I do apologize. I didn't realize you were calling me.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Amazing. I'm just in shock, with just the whole show, everything. Yeah. So I don't know what you were saying right prior to that because, like I said, I was sharing that story.
Yeah, it's an interesting allegory, though. 12 unidentified, right? So what I saw there were the 12 zodiacs coming in to take out the other side of Ophiuchus, which is I heal, I don't heal. And right now he's in getting a little bit of repair done to as an allegorical example of what he's been doing to humanity with his choices. So what he's doing is he's reaping the harvest of the seeds he has sown, and that's the mirror.
Which Rothschild son of a prostitute whore slut was it? What's his name?
Jeff Rothschild.
Beautiful. And those black guys, they're pretty well hung, so good on them.
Absolutely. Have a go at it. So there is Mother Creation, the black, the dark, the yang, coming in to take care of some business. Thank you. What a beautiful allegory.
Oh, lovely. Go for it. The Queen's next, and the pedophile husband, and they'll enjoy it. 4x4's nice size too. 4x4 posts. They work nice.
There you go. Well, they like their phalluses. They love their obelisks. So all we have to do is kind of put a little point on it. That should start the ball rolling. Yes.
Just blunt, and make sure you don't put the pointy end in. Make it the blunt end. You know the stump on the bottom of the obelisks. You know, like the one in St. Peter's Square. It's about 20 ton. Try that one.
I love it. Yeah. So Tainda in L.A. Well, look. See, there's the law thing too, right? So I just see the allegory of the law, real law, delivering real justice, because we can't deal in commerce, right? Admiralty is all about money. All we can deal in is universal law, which is real. So, guess you got what you wanted. Golden rule. And again, this is why I'm telling people to be so mindful of every thought they have, because every thought is creation itself. That's why some people have these beautiful moments where they think of something and that they love, and this next thing you know is it happens, and they're going, wow, how'd that happen? Well, because you lined up everything with your thought, your intent. It was neutral, it was beautiful, it lined up with not harming anyone or anything, and that's why it happens. That also works inversely as well. You get exactly what you wish for if the intent is there. That's the whole game here, right? It's all about intent, or in 10x Io, which is the goddess, T, which is either the note of love or the cross that you will bear. And that's the other side of the double cross. What the double cross is the note of T, or the letter T. And by the way, Cygnus is just beautiful in the northern sky right now. I was just outside a little while ago, and there she is, stunning, like this beautiful northern cross right now, because she's in the diving position. She's in diving during the winter and climbing during the summer, so it's really just beautiful to see the divine feminine Cygnus out there tonight in all her glory, and that's where we're steering to.
Well, she's one of the deacons of Aquarius along with Pegasus, so we are flying on the back of that swan and on the back of Pegasus, and you know what Pegasus does, don't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, so that's Aquarius. That's what Aquarius is all about, flying in the air, fixed air, and that's what's going on, friends. We are now in that age, and it's time to stand erect and live and breathe and live without any fear. No more fear. Don't have fear. I posted on my Facebook page the letter that I sent to pedophile Judge Jeff Chettle. Jeff, yeah,
you got it right. I was going to ask you if you would be so kind as to share this beautiful piece of literature that spells it out in no uncertain terms, regarding the right dishonorable Jeff Chettle and the right dishonorable Robert Doyle. So I would love to hear this.
All right. Well, this is the letter I've been writing every day to them, and this is the dishonourable arsewipe Mayor of Melbourne, the chief pedophile people trafficking city in the world, and they're going to go down. And Robert, hey, Robbie boy, you've seen me in the elevator many times in the Melbourne Town Hall when I was every Wednesday morning when I'd go in for my busking ticket. And all Australians know who I am. Yeah, because I've been in that mall for 12 years. Sold 100,000 CDs there. So minimum, 100,000 people have seen me, know me, etc., etc. So, Bobby boy, you're in jail, arsehole, and this is why. This is my letter to them. Here's my letter to Lord Mayor Robert Doyle and Judge Jeff Chettle, pedophile who is now slamming my two friends, Mickey Oliar and Kerry Marks, for growing, one plant of marijuana. Listen good, because what happened was this. Last week, Mickey's son was in court along with a couple of other sovereigns, and this arsewipe coward cunt mentioned my name. He said, and this fictional Santos Bonacci who keeps sending messages, I'm glad that you're in my custody, Mickey, because that'll be an alibi should anything happen to me. So he's shit scared, the pedophile. Who knows how many people he's raped? And this is the message I've given them all, and I put them all on notice. Listen good, arsewipe. To Jeff Chettle from The Witness. Listen good, arsewipe. I'm not a fiction cunt. Get it? Don't worry, motherfucker, people trafficker. You will be in jail where you deserve to be soon, you fucking arsewipe. How dare you milk the bonds of Mickey Oliar and Kerry Marks? How much money are you making, you pimp, for your pimp masters, you dirty pawn of shit? We, the people, we, the private people, are preparing a private prosecution as witnesses for your crimes. And then in parentheses, please continue in this case. We want as much evidence as possible. Close parenthesis. You and your fucking pedophile bar, rabbi, rabbanim, sons of Ra, inversive brethren, here is my work, cunt. Get familiar with it and get enlightened. And I put a link to my video, Law. You know, the first one I did with the green shirt where I exposed the Vatican and the Sesame KV Trust, and that one, that's gone around the planet 100 billion times already. Remember my name and never forget it in capital letters. Motherfucker, arsewipe, cunt, piece of dirty, filthy-hearted arsewipe shit. Anyway, I'll muck that sentence up, but all of those words.
That's okay. You know what? This is the joy of this, because finally, Santo, you're actually saying what's on your mind. This is beautiful. Keep going.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not here to be popular, man. Been there, done that. Doesn't work. You will be. Cliff Richards is popular, and the Queen's popular. You know, I don't want any of that. You will be found guilty of aiding and abetting live human beings to commit fraud by using their legal name, which is Crown-owned and amounts to fraud. You induce living beings to dead status by joining them to their dead legal name. As you act, it will be done to you. You are famous, by the way. Millions of people are watching you around the world from my daily radio shows. This is what they get every day. And I put a link to our very, very vicious show that we did a couple of weeks ago, Kate. Beautiful show where we just smashed them to pieces. And this is the last sentence. All you arsewipes have been noticed of your crimes. Mene tekel parson. Thank you very much.
Well said. Well said. And that's exactly what needs to happen. Let these guys know. And yeah, a good example of, if anything happens to me, well, listen, buddy, anything happens to you, you bring it on yourself. We don't wish vengeance on anybody. All I offer up is, may you get exactly what you wish for. May the seeds you have sown give you a bountiful harvest. May you to see your mirror so clearly. That's what you wish for.
Well, I wonder how many little boys and girls that Jeff Chettle, the arsewipe, put in prison. I hope nothing happens to them, arsehole, because guess what? Their blood and their suffering will be on you. And for all the properties that you think you own, well, guess what? They're going to belong to the people, and you will be in jail perishing in damnation, you piece of dirty fucking shit. And I know he's hearing me. I know he is, because he mentioned me in court, the fucking arsewipe. Don't worry, you'll be a dead piece of shit one in a few minutes. For sure, arsehole.
There you go. No, I know that tune in. Well, you heard what it was like on the SOLSTICE show here, trying to derail the energies that we were putting out. That was absolutely shredding them. And again, every one of the shows that called in tonight, all I was doing was claiming their energy, their attention units, if you will, to make them absolutely neuter them as any sort of creative aspect of my reality. And that's why, for me, my reality is my reality, and I will not let anyone trespass on it. I keep a very, very steady torch. I keep a very, very steady helm, and no one boards this ship. No one takes over but me. And that's the way it goes. Yeah,
that's why I'm on this show, and that's why I booted Slavery's Lips Revolting Radio, otherwise known as Freedom's Lips Revolution Radio, because Arsewipe Nighthawk, drunk as always, because he's a drunk, and I have no tolerance for drunk. He got on my show, my second show that I did there, and pretty much sounded like he was defending the idiots who were saying, "Oh, Santos, it seems like if people don't agree with you and your attitude toward pedophiles, that you're accusing them." Well, tell you what, grow up, and here's some advice for Revolting Radio. Get a few of these shows on there, and stop putting your all their hosts there to wear shirt and ties and try as much as possible to resemble the mainstream media run by the Rothschilds. Because what they do there is, they make sure you don't swear. Oh, we don't want to hurt people's feelings now, don't we? Make sure you're all prim and proper on this show, and all the morons that advertise on that radio station, get a life, you fucking idiots. Don't worry about a few swear words and get the truth out, because you're only just the same as all the other Rothschild-owned stations, or you're trying to copy them. So get a radio show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and again, for me, this is one of the reasons why this table is wide open. The minute you start putting rules in, you start reinstilling the ego program that was so nicely ingrained in each and every one of you listening, and myself as well, and Santo, every one of us. So that's why there are no rules here, because the whole idea of rules separates you from your true status, and I will not be party to that. So that's why this table is wide open, and why I will actually let a shill come on and say their idiotic piece, but they get their one shot at it. So I will remind shills, don't call back, because you're boring, and you're asleep, and you're a sellout, and you're in bed with the whore of Babylon, and sorry, I don't hang out with slutty people. It's just the way I am,
And they don't know who they are. They're dead on the land, semen, sperm, unconscious, period.
Exactly. So, and again, I say that with love and benevolence, and it's my wish that they finally wake up and see what they're actually doing to their own soul, enslaving it, because they're caught so deeply in the physical. And that depends whether or not they are actually able to have a soul, because there are lots of entities here that will never have that ability. It's unfortunate, but that was the choice, right? So you got to grow up in this game. Sorry, that's just the way it works.
Yeah, no place for the weak-hearted. I've got no time for them. Oh, but what if they do this, and what if... I corrected my mother 3 years ago when she said, well, you better be careful with what you put on YouTube, though. I saw what you said in the video about the Pope, and, they're killers. And I said, Mum, please, you've been a Jehovah's Witness all your life, and you've been preaching they can kill the body, but they can't kill the soul. Please, relax, Mummy. What is important is not our, whether people are going to respect us. I got some idiots on Facebook which I dumped saying, "Oh, Santos won't be respected now. Well, he's swearing. Oh boy, this is not politically correct." And I thought, well, dump you. I dumped about 50, of course. I'm having fun, man. I'm just watching all the idiots, with their faint heart, and worrying about this and worrying about this. All you need to worry about is that we will free the suffering from this planet by the hands of just a small bunch of psychopaths. And these people are so sick that the only thing that will ever help them is for them to be in jail, or for them to have their heads roll off the guillotines. That is the only thing that will stop them. They won't go away unless we act courageous now.
That's exactly it. And just like David, we don't need armor. We are already fully clothed. The only armor that you need is truth, and that's it, bottom line. If you do not stand in truth, and if you are still in contract with the whore of Babylon with ID and haven't broken that contract mentally, then you are vulnerable. When you actually know who you are, that you're not the dead legal fiction, and you understand that was a deception contract that was laid out by those that wanted to control humanity, which is fraud, and of course that's null and void. When you get to that point, you are walking as the untouchable. So put on your God armor. Take off the physical shit. You don't need it.
Yeah. I learned... Go ahead. Yeah, I learned a lesson about...
Oh, it was Chris. Chris was trying to jump in.
Yep, go, Chris.
There seems to be a bit of a lag on my end. I'm sorry about that. I just want to touch on something that both of you have talked about, which is, Kate, you're talking about intent, and Santos was talking about fear. I just wanted to kind of give an example of what the both of you are talking about from a little bit of a different perspective. It's actually something that happened to me. And it's a state of being that people can achieve quite easily. And what happened was that in 1985, I went to Scotland and camped out in the wilds of Scotland for about 8 months. And because I was away from all the humdrum, monkey, left-brain bullshit, not watching TV or reading newspapers, I got into a different state of being. And when I came down to London after 8 months of being away, it was a completely different experience. But something happened where I was using a friend's car, and I was parked in a bus stop. And in London, you get ticketed for that. And I didn't have a driving license or anything like that, you know. So there I was with my mum in the back seat, had parked the car in a bus stop, came back, and then a policeman gave me a ticket. And I wasn't afraid. I wasn't, I was just, I don't know, in a very different space. And what happened eventually was that the ticket disappeared. I mean, literally. Because when I went and tried to look for it to pay it, I couldn't find it. So I rang up the Shepherd's Bush police station and said, I was stopped on this day at this time by this policeman, and do you have a copy of the ticket? Because I can't find it. So, I want to know if you have it so I can pay it. And he spent about 5 minutes looking on his computer. I don't think they had computers in those days, but, he spent 5 or 10 minutes looking for it, came back and said, I can't find it, sir. I said, oh, okay. Put the phone down and thought about it. And then it wasn't until I began learning about the tone scale that I discovered that the state of being called serenity or beingness is one where you can't be touched. There's a column, and it's to do with, I can't remember what it was. It's to do with the ability of being harmed or being hurt by something or someone. And it says in that column, virtually indestructible. And I've actually seen a few shows where they show one guy being shot by a gun, and he just stands there and he's shot 6 times by a .22 caliber weapon on stage. And it was Roy Castle's, I can't remember the rest of it, but it was a guy called Roy Castle who had these things that, every week he would show different things. And there's this one guy who stood on stage and was shot by a .22 caliber pistol. Nothing happened to him. Another one where I saw a Chinaman in China he was given poison to drink. He drank it, and nothing happened to him either. And it's a state of being that when one achieves it, you literally cannot be touched by anything or anyone, because your universe, your own universe you've created around you, you've made it to be impenetrable. Even though people can touch you and all that, any evil intention or any intention that is there to harm will not arrive at the point where your body is. It is just a phenomenal thing to experience. And even though at the time I didn't really understand what the hell was going on, it's something that I've experienced for myself, and I know that others can do it. It's actually you have to let go of the fear of what, oh my God, what will happen to me if I do this, or what would happen to me if I do that. It's all mind chatter, and that mind chatter is never truthful. It's never the actual thing that's going to happen. It's just a bunch of shit that's being regurgitated from some deep place in your psyche somewhere, and it's all the fears that have ever been perpetrated on you in the past. And it's a lie. It's very much a lie,
Well, that is the power. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is the power of letting others place thoughts in your mind. The most dangerous thing is the inception of a thought. I'm going to show you the power of the inception of thought, because right now I'm going to make every one of you think about a kangaroo. Got it? Do you see how powerful it is? This is why I put my walls up with regards to any agreements that come in. This is what it means. That's how the ego can be controlled. It's that simple. By the inception or the placement of a thought. And that's what this whole system is about planting thoughts in people's minds to keep them working in a certain way, to keep them in a literal sense of things, to keep them trapped physically in this illusion. What you think is real is only that which you've agreed to based on someone else's thought. Inception. Someone told you kangaroo once and you believed it. Just stop believing.
Yeah. There's so many examples of what I've just talked about that it really proves to me that anyone can do this. I mean,
absolutely.
It's one thing listening and hearing a story, but it's another to actually experience it for oneself. And what I feel is going on with many people that are going down the road of being foreclosed on and so on is that they are being tested. They are being tested to let go of their fear, and I've been at that point many times when I've had to just let go of, oh my God, what's going to happen to me type of thing, And it's always the case that those thoughts are just lies. Really, they are. They're nothing but just manufactured lies. If something is telling you not to do something, go and do it. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. If just go and do it and see what happens.
Well, that's exactly how I tested myself. Those things that I felt resistance to, and the resistance, you feel it in your chest, literally. It's a pressure.
Yeah.
And as soon as you feel that resistance, that's the wall you have to push through. That is the resistance. That is the that you need to get through. And only when you confront these things, that's why I tell people, take baby steps. But you've got to take the steps. You cannot say, well, I'm awake and I understand what Kate's saying about the legal name. No, until you start putting that into action to show your intent, it means nothing. They're empty words. But again, this is not about taking on, me, I'll just take on anything. That's just my nature. I'm not saying the initial thought doesn't scare the shit out of me, but I know what fear is, and I put it aside, and they go, okay, well, that's just the illusion. Thank you for the experience. That was interesting to feel that, but I'm just going to push on through anyway. So that's what you do. Yeah. Find the little things. DJ, I got to do a shout out for DJ. She's been posting periodically. I just shredded my driver's license. Just shredded my SIN card. Just and that's what I'm talking about. The step-by-step baby steps that when you start doing it, you'll understand the power these things had over you. I've said the simplest way to prove this to yourself, for everyone walking around with ID currently in their purse or wallet, leave all that ID at home and go out. And just see what that feels like. And you'll start to understand the grip and control that the Whore of Babylon has on you and how much your mind is being held in place by somebody else's fucking illusion. Try it out. You don't even have to cut up anything to do this. Try it out. Leave your wallet behind. Leave everything behind and see how naked you are. Oh my God, you're totally naked out there. What am I going to do? I can't get it. I've got my driver's license on me. I haven't got this. I haven't got that. Yeah, okay, well, now do it for real. I haven't carried ID in almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's all gone. The only thing I carry is proof of the fraud, and it's a fact. You flip out the birth certificate, you own them, because everything they do further from that is aiding and abetting and defraud, and they know that. They're already told that. Cops will not come anywhere near you with that.
Yeah. And it's interesting that even though I've helped Maggie, I haven't gone down this road myself yet.
You're going down it with her. Yeah, but you're going down the road with her.
She has a different experience to me because she's actually out there doing it. I've been the one coaching her, but I've been coaching her on something that I took faith worked, but hadn't used it on myself. Because I was able to recognize the power of it, I was able to then walk her through it. And yet I haven't used these documents on my own yet, which is an interesting one. Well,
again, I send them out all the time, and for me it's about all I'm doing is planting the rose garden right now, and the harvest is on the way. I already know that. So for me, it's just I want to get as many seeds planted as I possibly can. I'm a good farmer. Plant the seed and let nature take its course. And this is the whole thing about letting go. This is what most people, they still want to try to get things to happen in the physical, in the very literal sense. Instead, just plant the seeds and watch what the universe gives you, and all the clues are there. It's like these coincidences we have. All of a sudden you start seeing something, but it was always there. You just never noticed it before, but now you have eyes to see. The easiest way to throw that into a metaphor is think of the car you're driving when you first got it. When you first got that particular brand, you never noticed any of them before, but now you're noticing every one of them because you have that reality. And that's what happens when you're moving laterally through your timeline. And you see things that you've seen before, but they have an entirely different meaning, and they give you, now I know why that's been there all the time. And it's coming to that realization of seeing the same things over and over until you get to the understanding of why it was there. That's when I say, all things for a reason. All you have to do is find out why.
Yeah.
Why is it relevant to you? And when you do, you'll know. And I know there are countless thousands listening right now that know that.
Yeah. And that thing you said about not allowing others' thoughts to come into your universe, that's also very, very true. I had the experience where back in the same time zone that I was in doing this stuff, I went down to London, and then when I got to talk to my mother about what I was doing, she said, "Aren't you afraid of being kind of molested by some guy?" Because I was hitchhiking a lot, right? And it had never even crossed my mind. I was just hitchhiking wherever I wanted to. I was using the guys up in northern Scotland as a taxi service, and I wasn't really going out there doing it. It was just, if I wanted to go to Inverness from Ahiltubu, which is on the west coast, then I would put that intention out there in the evening, the day before I was meant to go, get up at whatever time it was, and find a car, and it would drive me there all the way to Inverness, which was 90 miles across the country. And I got to where it was. It took me 6 hours to do it, in one direction, down to waiting for the car, down to 3 or 4 minutes. That was my record. And eventually I got so good in my intentions that I was able to go from Scotland all the way to southern France in one shot. But then, as I was saying that, my mother was talking about, "Aren't you afraid of being molested?" And I said, "No." But that thought stayed with me. And lo and behold, a month or so later, on the next trip down to London, one of the first people that I got a lift with dived for my genital area, Mm-hmm. So I just said no. He said, "You can either suck my dick, or I can let you out of the next exit or next slip road." And I said, "I'll just let me off at the next exit." And I wasn't fazed because I completely understood that I had created that.
Actually, you had agreed with the creation of it. That's the power. This is. I want to make this point clear for people. That's why I will not accept the wishes of others. That when someone comes out to me and says, "Well, what do you mean drive with a license? What happens if?" And I said, "Well, is that what you're wishing upon me? I don't accept your wish. Thank you very much. And I hope that you don't have to experience that which you are wishing for upon another." So I'm very, very careful with that. I will not allow anyone to come to me with a literal thing at all and think that they're going to manifest it. Well, unfortunately, for the vast majority of humanity, that won't affect me anyway. Because I will not agree with it, because I know it's a literalism, right? They're stuck in the literal reality, and they're not seeing the magic of this place. And this is where we're at right now, where we are now wielding that power. And as Santos said earlier in the show, it is this table, it is the critical mass, okay, that is changing this reality. I know that for a fact because I'm watching it every single day. I can't look at anything and not see something manifest. It's there, and it's happening like within minutes and hours now, not days or weeks. It's amazing. What were we talking about last night? And we mentioned, I think it was last night or the night before, we mentioned Revelations 18, and lo and behold, Revelation 17 just got iced. Now we're in, because Revelation 17 has been mentioned, what Revelation are we in now? 18. We're at the Whore of Babylon now. We're at the takedown. So, get ready to watch. It's going to be a beautiful show. I know. My movie's awesome. You used to see my movie from here. It's friggin' awesome. Just saying.
My movie's good too.
Hey, Tanda, there you are. Yeah, I saw you dropped off. I finally got back to the board. So, yeah, jump in for a sec, Tanda. Let's get this wide open. And I have a couple of callers as well. I might as well bring them in. But you've got the floor for now, Tanda. So I'll bring these guys in, let them know they're here. 03, you're in. And there's another 111 number that I can't tell what it is in as well. So go ahead, Tanda.
Well, I guess I'm just in agreement with what everyone is saying. I know my power. I know no one can touch me. And even in what I'm doing in the agent, that I'm taking his license, I'm taking out his office, I'm going to Century 21 to that corporation. And the agent I'm taking out, he has a record of assault, even on police. So I'm not scared. I understand what these mercenaries have done. I understand their violations. And I'm calling it out not just for me, but for them too. And I'm a girl. So, and I walk by myself. I do everything that I want to do, and nobody will touch me. I will live a good, long, happy life. Nobody. None of their energy, nothing. I know how to pack that shit up and send it right back to them. I don't accept it. I live my life. I'm doing what I need to do, and I know what I'm doing to bring the system down. Period. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, and you put bows on those like I do. Here's your gift back with a big bow on it. Merry reality.
Return to sender. That's my button, and I see it. Return to sender. I don't accept it.
Now,
that's not my reality.
Let's look at the word sender for a sec, right? Say and der. Okay, so we have say, himself, herself, itself, and means mine, and der is German for the, which is theos, which is God. So there's the himself, herself, itself, mine, God. So return to sender, absolutely, give it back. I put it this way. If someone mailed you a steaming pile of dog shit, would you accept it? No. So everything that comes in the mail with a legal fiction is that steaming pile of dog shit. It's okay. The UPU has been uncovered, and we already know that allegory is complete because Canada Post has announced that they're not doing door-to-door deliveries because they know this, and that's Universal Postal Union. The Pope heads that one up. That every piece of mail that gets delivered by any of these postal workers on this planet under the UPU jurisdiction, which is the Universal Postal Union, just Earth, it's universal, are actually aiding and abetting everyone committing fraud because they are the last holder in due course handing the contract over. So it is the postal worker that is doing the most damage in terms of aiding and abetting the frauds.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite easy to shut down the post. Just get out the front with your video camera every day when the postman comes and just remind him, do you realize that you are committing fraud? You are carrying and touching fraudulent documents. None of that belongs to you. Let them know. Put them on notice. Do it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing what people will do to sell their souls, eh? They'll carry little pieces of paper around that are life-destroying contracts that they are the last ones to touch before the one they're harming touches it. So actually, all mail, the last holder of due course is the postal worker. Sorry, your DNA's on it. Your Midas touch, you own it. It's a hot potato. We're playing a universal game of hot potato. So are you gonna hold the potato? No, thanks. You can keep that. And you can take that steaming pile of dog shit to go with it. Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Much love. Just saying.
Yeah, best way to deal with unwanted advertisement that comes in that postal box is just wrap it up in dog poo. Get some really nice fresh one, wet it a little bit, throw it straight back in that red bloody box, because that is the box of hell. And then they've seen your dog shit, send it back.
Yeah, it won't be long before the mailboxes get pulled too, so there you go. It's all good. We got about half an hour left here. I'm going to do the shout-out now so we can keep this thing rolling right along the way it's rolling. It's beautiful. Great big thank you to Paul Giovanni at criticalmassradio.co.uk and all the crew that are world-changing at this time. The hosts and all, of course, all the family. I hate calling it listeners, but you know what I mean, right? At this table, it's your table. So great big thank you for that. Anything anyone can do for donations or subscriptions, please feel free. And if you can't, well, please get the intent there that someone will, and the universe takes care of its own, which it does. If you can't stand on the front lines doing the fight, well, pass up some ammo. That would be great. Muchly appreciated. For those that want to jump into the call, before we roll over, you can call in at 661-467-2727. 2401. That's the landline. Once you get on the board, if you want to jump in the call, all you have to do is hit 1 on the dial pad. That lets me know you want in. And if it's on Skype, all you have to do is go to the Blog Talk page, or if you're listening on it, if the Skype button is not there beside the phone number, just refresh the page. It will show up. Click that. Follow your nose. And don't worry about if you don't have a Blog Talk account, if you got Facebook or Twitter, whatever, just sign in using that. And that will bring you to the board as well. Same deal there. Open the dial pad up, hit 1 if you want to jump into the call here. So that being said, wow, let's rock this puppy home. What was I going to say there? Let's bring the other callers in right now and see what's on everybody's mind. Area code 203.
Hello. Hello, Kate.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I just wanted to talk to you the other day. My name's Caesar. I just wanted to call back and say thank you for helping me on my journey. That thing with the pineal gland and the Moses with the staff, that really led me to my path of enlightenment. I love it when like things just connect and it's like you see it and it's like awesome, you know. And and I would just like to ask Santos if he could maybe talk a little bit about sun and the moon's how it contributes to the pineal gland on somewhat of like Kundalini and like the two polarized energies.
The most important document you can ever read is the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Now, I've explained what they mean in my Syncretism series of presentations that came out at the end of 2012. I think it might be the first one, Syncretism, the True Theology. Otherwise, it might be in the Magnum Opus. But anyway, it's only like about, 100 words at the most. The Emerald Tablets of Hermes or Enoch or Thoth, whatever you want to call it, Mercury, and read that. You know, have a read about that. Read that, and you'll have all the information you need. The sun and the moon are our father and our mothers. The moon is the ovaries of the solar system. The father is the spirit. Souls come through inside from the core of the sun, as Walter Russell explained in The Secret of Light, that all things come from the center of the sun. Actually, I'll tell you what, I might read that because I've got the book nearby, just for the inspiration, the sheer inspiration of this wonderful, wonderful man. If you haven't read that book yet, you're missing out on a large part of who you are. You will know who you are once you read that book, The Secret of Light. But he says there about the sun, maybe I need to find it first. Oh, the sun, here we go. Now just sit back and enjoy this, because this is going to knock your socks off. All things in the solar system come from the sun and return to it. This is page 199. The life germ for which man is seeking is in the sun. The idea of man is in the sun. Likewise, all idea of all things is in the sun, awaiting birth into form. The pulsing light of polarity borns all idea into its form when conditions are favorable for each idea to be mothered by an extension of the sun. Everything in nature is a moving extension from a still point of the one light. The center of the sun in our solar system is the still point of light from which everything in this entire solar system radiates spirally, and toward which it gravitates spirally for its resurrection into another cycle. So if you want to be resurrected, listen to the words of Jesus. No one goes to the Father except through me, because Jesus is the Son and Savior, and that's why the sun in the sky, that very one that warms you and grows your body, is your Savior. That's Jesus Christ, the Archangel Michael. Continuing on, the sun is the seed The sun is the seed of this solar system from which all manifestations of idea in this entire system extend and to which they return. Motion is for the sole purpose of manifesting idea. All idea springs from a state of rest in its seed as it unfolds from its seed and refolds into it. It therefore follows that motion is a seeming two-way extension retraction from and to a point that has no existence save to senses, which sense must I'm sorry that I stuffed this up, guys. It therefore follows that motion is a seeming two-way extension retraction from and to a point and has no existence save to senses which sense but the extension and not the voiding simultaneous reaction. All the suns of all the heavens are centered by still points of omniscient light from which all idea extends and returns. Suns are seeds of idea. From those seeds, all form emerges. To those seeds, all form returns. You will, I will, all the listeners will return to the still-centered magnetic light, which is the omniscient God that we are, centered in the middle of the sun. The sun is hollow, and it is our spiritual father. It is our fountain father of life, as all the great ones have ever called it. And the moon is the ovaries, together with the earth. The moon is like the spiritual mother, and the earth is our physical mother. She gives us our body, but the moon gives us the soul comes through the moon, the spirit through the sun. There you go. But do read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and check out my syncretism presentation. I think everybody should just rewatch all of that series because that is probably the best work I've ever done. And there I showed also the Abrahamic religion is centered on the ecliptic, like everything else is. All things you will ever learn, period, come from the ecliptic. Get to know it, and you'll get to know it when you watch my videos, because there it is. And from that point of the ecliptic, you will grow to know all things. Because as Walter Russell put it at the beginning of this book, he dedicated this one phrase to the book, and it is this: in the wave lies the secret of creation. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you, CJ, for bringing that up. I'm glad you called back to ask that question because I remember you asking that, and I said I deferred that. You better ask on to that question, and you did. So thank you. Told you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Santos. And it's Caesar actually.
Oh, sorry. What was it again?
Caesar.
Oh, Caesar. I thought you said CJ. Sorry. It's the headset and the connection. It's all good. So sorry about that, Caesar. Thank you so much, though. That was. I'm so glad you called back to ask that, and lo and behold, there it is. So, fair enough. All right, I've got area code 111. I don't know, it's either a Skype call or a landline that just comes up with all ones. Your mic is open, so if you haven't talked yet, say something now so I know you're there. I'm not. Could be Tony. I have no idea, but...
Hey, Kate, how the fuck are you?
Hey, in the words of the immortal Osho, how the fuck is it? I love that guy. It was so good. Yeah, what's on your mind?
I just want to challenge everybody who's listening to you to walk in their power every day and notice that when you do, you feel untouchable because you actually are. And the way that you do that is to drop all the controls that they've placed upon you.
Okay, that's the end of the show. Thank you very much. That just wraps the whole universe up as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you nailed it.
See you guys.
There we go. No more need for any more shows because that pretty much sums it all up. Just like that.
When you turn all that, the controls that they placed upon you back upon them, then you do walk in your own power. And you do feel untouchable, and you are the king. And you do project what you want into the world and have it come back to meet you.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, and it is true. And until you experience it for yourself, you won't believe it. But then that's where the fear comes in to keep you from even trying. So dare yourself. I dare you. Dare yourself to be good for maybe just a whole day. Okay? Go out and imagine yourself. Here, let me... remember I said I can make everybody think of a kangaroo? And you all did? Well, here's something else. Let me plant this thought for you. If you accept it, you are God. You are untouchable. You are invincible, invisible, and nothing will come near you. I think that's a good thought to implant. Unless you're happy with having the shit beat out of you, that's entirely up to you. Though I'm not, it's not something I would do personally. But I kind of like the untouchability aspect. It works for me.
It's as if you disappear because you're no longer in their world.
Exactly. And there was a phone call that came in for anyone that was listening. This is going back about 2 years ago, where someone had called in. For the life of me, can I remember who it was? But what this individual had told me at that time, and I was only starting to come into realization of exactly what you're talking about, was that it said, Kate, you were at that point now where you are literally invisible in the system, that they will look at you and not even see you, that they will not know where you are. And I had that confirmed in no uncertain terms. I know my reality. For me to try to explain it, forget it. But when you know these things, there is no, you know it. There's no believing it. There's just knowing it. And it's like, there it is. Excuse me. Yeah, so, yeah, be God. You might as well. You are.
That kind of reminds me of that movie, Dark City, with where you just that power is within you, and you have to discover that you are actually a God.
Well, that's what we're here to do, and that's what this whole movie's about. It's just a movie, okay? So when you decide to star in your movie, which you are, you get to be the hero in your story. You are the hero in your story, and I've said this in no uncertain terms. You are the only point of consciousness that you can prove to yourself and you are aware of. Everything outside of you is mere illusion, including the voice that you're hearing coming from me right now. Because the only thing that's real in my universe is me, and everything outside of me are merely reflections of consciousness that is me. And when you start to get this kind of picture going on in your head, things start to make a whole lot more sense, a whole lot quicker. And then you start understanding, and you get a lot of pity for these meat sticks and goons walking around, working at the behest of their masters to harm others for little pieces of paper and false idols. It's sad, really. When you stop and think about it, it is sad. See, I don't have any malice towards these individuals. I have nothing but pity. And it is my wish to wake them up to this. And if they don't want to wake up, that's their call. I'm not going to trespass on their wanting to not exist anymore, because they won't, not in my reality. I just obliterate them. These are, think of it as bad memories, Do you really want them? No, so you get rid of them. So I get rid of them. I purge them. Just like that. Pretty simple.
Yeah,
and if you're having a hard time with their intending, Abraham Hicks is a really good source to get a grasp on how that works.
Exactly. No, great points. And it is my wish, as I would hope it's yours, that you understand your own power. That ye are, God is light, ye are light, ye are gods. And start directing your movie instead of playing the role of an extra. I will say this. This table, there are no extras. You guys are well beyond being at effect as an extra. And you have information that is far and beyond the normal scope of what the average individual on this planet is walking around thinking that this is how the game works. That they're supposed to vote for politicians, that they're supposed to pay taxes, that they're supposed to watch TV and go rah, rah, rah when there's a war on because their team is, killing others, right? That is the meat stick mentality. That is the dead carrying out the dead, and they will stay there until they wake up to this. And then there's those of us that pass through to the fist fight, with fist fight, the light or carry out the dead. And then once we get past the vengeance and understand the true nature of the balance here, then we just simply move into the lighthouse position and hold the light. You don't have to do anything but that. This is the power of you. At what point do you think God, if you're going to put God outside of yourself, let's use a little analogy here. At what point do you think God as an external aspect needs to actually get up and do anything. I mean, people get the concept of what God creates. Well, that's what you are. Well, the only thing you have to do is bring that home. You have to bring that in. This is about worshiping outside of yourself, which is what religion teaches. Here, I saw a post on Facebook. This sums it up pretty good. If you walk around telling, and you're the only one telling others that you have an imaginary friend, you're deemed crazy. Yet if you get a whole lot of people together walking around claiming they have an imaginary friend, well, they call that religion. See what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. The whole message there was that ye are God. You're not supposed to worship outside of yourself. That's worshiping a false idol, a false say, which is a fallen himself, herself, itself. So
anytime that anybody can be put between you and God, then they control your access.
Bingo. And anyone trying to play that role is, sorry, that's a major trespass on the free will choice of the immutable universal laws. Not a good thing to be doing. That's not the kind of seeds I want to be sowing, and that's why I'm so ever mindful of every seed I plant. Even during these shows, it's I always have retrospect and make sure that I'm getting the right intent across. I'm colorful some nights, and other nights I'm very quiet and peaceful about it, but I want to carry the same intent in every kind of form that will appeal to any kind of lingering ego, if the ego is still there. See, here's the thing about being offended, and why I tell people, if you're offended, then you don't know who you are, because you're still operating in an ego state. You're sorry, God is perfect, has no flaws. How can you be offended? I see the most beautiful essence in the universe. I see the reflection of me contained within everything and everyone. So how can I offend that? Oh, no. What I will do is shred the physical illusion as, the video game that it is. Are you going to sit there and scream at the television set? No. It's not like you're going to change anything on the screen. I mean, you're there watching a show that was pre-programmed for you. And, of course, that's all mind control anyway. But, no, I play the game a little differently. Actually, I play it a lot differently. And that's why we're doing the things that we're doing at this table. So just want to bring others in here, guys. We've got 10 minutes to roll over. So 661-467-2401. Area code 903. You've been waiting for a little bit. I have 780 as well, and 617. I'll get your mics open. So there's the order that you guys can jump in. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. I've got area code 661, which is a neutral call. But anyway, 903 first up, 780, and then 617. Second. And 661. So I just opened yours, so you'll know who you are. Oops, 952 just jumped in too. So 903, what's on your mind?
I've been telling you what's on my mind.
Oh, that was you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. The numbers jumped around, so it was 780. That's what I was going to next.
Just one more thing, though. If you live a God-centric life, you'll have nothing but good benefits. And if you live an ego-centric life, you'll have nothing but ego problems.
Exactly. Guys, I have the mics open, so please be mindful of background noises. It is going live to air. And it's really, really annoying. So I hate to have to say this every night. I figure by now people would get that. If your mic is open, I can hear you and everything that's going on behind. So please mute out on your end, or I will have to locate the call and put it back on hold. 780.
Here?
Yep.
Hello?
You're on. 780, you're on.
Hi, Kate. It's Rachel.
Rachel, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Sorry, now that I look at it, I recognize the number. So carry on, hon.
Was the noise coming from me? That's my grandson crying in the background. Is that what you heard?
Could have been. Okay. I have no idea. I have to trust on those on the other end to know that there's noise in their background. So if there is, I can hear it. So.
Oh, sorry, I don't know nothing about this stuff.
Right.
I don't know if I have time to really tell you about what happened the other night. My friend and I were sitting here in our house, and a knock came on the door at 8:00 at night, and it was the cops. And I didn't know who it was, and Ashley went and answered the door, and he stuck his boot in the door and wanted in the house, and he actually charged us with possession. He took about 10 roaches from us. I had no ID. I gave no ID. He gave me the charge with no ID because I had none. I said I don't have any. I got rid of everything. I sold my home, like I said. I moved to where I am, and I'm off the grid. I've given everything up, and they showed up here. And charged both of us with possession of about 10 roaches. He wanted inside our home. He said that if we did not hand over what we had, that he was going to take us to the car and put us in the car and have more cops brought in. He was going to search the home. So we give him Ashley went and give him the roaches, and he goes, well, now I'm charging you with possession. So he charged us with possession, and we have to go to court. I think it's February 5th. For possession, but my name, when I signed the paper, I never signed my last name. I just scratched in my first name, and on my copy, it doesn't even show my name on it at all. I had no address.
Well, here's the problem, Rachel. Here's the problem, Rachel. You're still accepting it as your name.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is spiritual. This is not a physical game, and as soon as I hear of any sort of interaction, there's still a spiritual thing that needs to be solved on your end, and that's it. So what we have here is a beautiful blessing of a cop aiding and abetting another living soul that into legal death. So they're actually guilty of premeditated murder and, of course, fraud. And all the rest of it. So what has happened here is you were given an open door to start ramming real truth into the system.
That's what I've been saying. I said this is such a pathetic case that this just seems like it was dropped in my lap. There you go. You got your into the system to show what's going on, to bring my part of it down or whatever. I know what's going on, and I just felt like it was just an opportunity. I giggled from the time he was gone. I thought, what a fool. And he says that we're worried that they're going to come back and do a search. He says that he's a very intelligent police officer, that he's been well trained and that he can tell the difference between just burnt pot and fresh pot. So he's accusing us of having a grow-up in the house here with two little children that are living here, right? Who were not home at the time, by the way.
Rachel, what he's doing is he's trying to plant seeds. You want to talk about planting seeds? Here's what he's doing. These guys are very well trained in the art of deception. I mean, that's what a law enforcement is. They're false impersonators with the purpose and intent to deceive someone. That's right in Black's Law. Okay, so these guys are highly trained to create assumption and presumption. You see, what we're dealing with here, and this goes back to the pre-crime concept, what they're doing is they're creating the crimes in their own mind first, and then they're writing the script to get people to walk into it. That's the problem reaction solution game. I covered that in the Midas Touch essay. A little bit. I'll have to do a more in-depth scope of that for people to really get what's going on there. And it goes right back to what I said earlier about me just saying the word kangaroo. There, we've created 3 kangaroos tonight. So this is what they do. Now, first thing I would be saying, I would be going, yeah, thank you so much. Now I can take you to a private prosecution. Put your shit down, baby. Let's have some fun. I need business card. Give me everything you got. Everything you got.
Yep. I'm going to ask for all the disclosure and all that. It's a constable. It's like chicken scratch, but his badge number is 60231. He's out of Red Deer. I think his name is Sanan or something like that. He puts it like chicken scratch. You can't even understand his name, but his badge number is 60231.
Well, that's the problem with the RCMP, the remote control monkey puppets, right? They're only trained to a certain level, and most of them, as far you can claim, they're intelligent and all the rest of it, but I can assess somebody very quickly just based on their handwriting. I know when I'm dealing with an idiot.
He's brand new. He's brand new. He's not coming that one. He's very young.
Oh, then he's got a rude awakening coming. Yeah, so he thinks he's just been sent out by his masters to see if he could actually do the job, and of course they all get puffed up in the chest like a peacock, a proud peacock, because I've got a clown costume on and I've got a 9mm penis extension and I have the power of God. Apparently, I am the law. Really, what law school did you go to? Well, I'll tell you, you can't claim.
He wanted in the door. He wouldn't let Ashley close the door, and I ran over and I stayed by the door when she went and got the roaches, because if we would have both, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to distract us both away from the door, not allow us to close the door. Now we've allowed entry for him to come in the house, right? So we stayed right by the door and kept our foot on the door, both of us, one at a time. If one of us left, the foot would have went on the floor. We refused to let him in the house. And he never came in. He threatened us. I'm going to bring the cops in. I'm going to put you in my car. We're going to get a search warrant. Whatever. You're not coming in this house. And we didn't let him in. And it worked. Like, he didn't come in.
Yeah, well, again, they'll only push the intimidation to see what they can get away with. They can only operate under consent. You have to be consentful to... It's like a vampire. A vampire cannot enter... Look at the allegories. A vampire cannot enter a home unless they are invited.
Yeah. You got to invite the demon, right?
What was that?
Yeah. So I think this is a good opportunity for me. I think that this is something that was dropped in my lap, and I think that I should really look right into and go in there with all my ducks in a row and know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to play this fucking game anymore. I've given up everything.
Rachel, you haven't been listening for the last week or two, have you?
No, I've been moving, Kate, and selling the house, and it's been a lot of stress for the past
That's okay.
for me.
That's okay. I don't need the drama, hon. Honestly, I just need a yes or no, and that works. So I know where you're at. What you need to do is get to my website and read the last 6 essays I've put together in the last week. When you read those, you will not be dealing it like everyone else in the meat stick world, thinking they're going to solve something legally, get disclosure, and all the rest of the fucking bullshit that the legal system is. So what I'm going to ask you to do, hon, is get to my website and read.
We're going on right now, actually. And actually, we were heading to the library tomorrow. We were going to go to the library because then we can download and copy out into a file, physical paper, everything that you have on there. So we're going to the library tomorrow, and we're going to do it from there. But we're going to go on your site right now from our laptop and take a look and read some stuff on there, but we don't have a copier. So I like to have everything in the physical. I don't like the computer. I'd rather have it in the physical.
Well, have a look at the document, I Am the Witness cover letter. That's pretty much a summation of what's really been going on, and we're working on the private prosecutions, and we have them shitting themselves. So it's... Oh, here's something else, too, that, and this one goes out for all the cops out there. You do realize, officer deception, that every attempt you make to add or ask for someone's legal name, you are in fact committing murder with intent. A human being can be a person, therefore a person can be a human being. So if you are trying to create a dead legal person, you are actually killing that individual. And here's the thing about attempted murder, or if someone has intent to kill you, you can be killed in self-defense. Lawfully.
Okay.
And legally.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to put that seed out there, but that's the facts. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
No, you want to dance with the devil, expect to get your hands burnt. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
We're going to read all up on this, and I'll keep in touch. I got on Skype, but I'm doing this through a phone right now. I didn't do it through the Skype, but I did set all up and everything, and I'll try to figure that out a little bit more. Like, I'm computer illiterate, so I really apologize for the baby crying in the background. I had no idea.
That's okay. That's fine, hon. That's fine. And stop planting seeds of being something less than perfect. When you say you are illiterate, you are being illiterate. When you say you are something, you are creating it. So you are absolutely perfectly computer literate.
Okay.
Change your intent.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Our thoughts emanate. Okay. Yeah, our thoughts emanate. You're right. Okay,
Every thought
you have a good night.
You too, hon. Much appreciated.
And I'll be calling back and keeping in touch and letting you know what's going on.
You're going to be excited when you read this stuff. So, and remember, everybody, every thought is a wish. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. I'll do that. Okay, well, you take care and have a very good Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.
Merry crucifixion to everyone.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, much love, kiddo. Take care. Area code 617, Boston.
What's up from Boston here? No, I don't have an
What's up from Boston, Mass?
Hey, listen, this is a serious area up here. We have a lot of activity up here. In the way of everything that we're talking about. I mean, you can see an example of it within seconds in Boston. It's like instant manifestation. It's instant manifestation here.
It's actually instant manifestation everywhere. You're just a little bit more astute in seeing it. Thank you for being that.
Yes, I guess. So I mean, any of these things you see in the external world, I guess what I'm saying is for anybody who needs to see those examples because they don't feel it, they need to look outside to feel it inside maybe at some point if they're getting there. Then there's some good things to look at that are good proofs, I guess, to people who aren't believers or however you want to look at it. That when you look at the it'll confirm the as above, so below.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this is the joy. Once you start getting your God eyes and God ears on, this world changes in such a way that it is absolutely mind-blowing, beautiful. You cannot help but get excited when you start seeing your own allegories playing out in front of your eyes. When you start seeing the things that you're intending, changing your timeline laterally. This is what we're doing. We're shifting sideways through that sine wave. We're swinging our pendulum back to center.
You know what's called defamation.
Sorry, what was that?
Go ahead.
Is there anybody here?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't realize what you're doing. But you better look up narcissism because you are stricken with it bad. And I know your weaknesses.
Is this a recording from 1950?
I think it might be.
You've got a personality disorder. Did you know that?
This is strange.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it sounds like a voice from the past indeed. And I think I know which one it is. There we go. Yeah, well, they had to show up, so thanks a lot. Appreciate your thoughts. Area code 952.
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
Whatever.
Whatever.
Great.
It's all good.
Hey, yeah, man. It is what it is. I love you. I've been listening to you for a while. Instant manifestation. Gosh, isn't that reality right now? I mean, just live it and breathe it. You know, people talking about how they need external proof or whatnot. Ask yourself. Ask yourself. Truly ask yourself. Is this true? And have reality tell you if it is or not. Have your own experience. Be the witness. It's like when I saw the title of you and Santos Bonacci at I Am the Witness. Oh, I knew exactly. I didn't have to listen to the rest of the speech, Kate. I knew exactly what you meant. It came over me. Boom. Oh, I knew it was there. Instant manifestation. My mind just, boom, jumped. That timeline shift. You can feel it happen. It's just, anything can be a catalyst, too. It's so beautiful right now. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, totally.
Same level? Yeah.
Oh, this is the game we're playing. So, and what you're talking about, and I know that I have to know that everyone listening right now has had this, other than our shield friend, but has to know that they're seeing the magic, and when an epiphany hits you, it washes over you like a tidal wave. There's just no other way to put it. You just get that bliss aha moment, and you just know. You don't have to think about it because knowing something requires no thinking. Thinking is still a process, right? That's why as a Gemini I had to learn to not think in order to become the Aquarian I know. Right?
Right.
So yeah, totally get it.
Yeah, and jeez, I don't know what else there is to it other than realizing your own power, that fear issue, and that's the other thing too. That's why people being so afraid of the system and like automatically, oh, you're in it, or like use a name or this or that. It doesn't fucking matter. And that's like, if you were a fucking king running around England, it wouldn't matter what you wipe your ass with or what the hell, anything. It doesn't matter. You're the sovereign. You know, it doesn't matter if you go play in the sand pit with the kids. It doesn't make you a kid. You're still a sovereign. But you get to go play with the kids if you want to. You know, it's like you get to do what you want, and it's just like use it if you need to use it right now. Okay, don't beat yourself bloody over. Oh, I have this kid. I have this responsibility. Deal with the reality in front of you, and work on the other things that you need to. You know, and everybody is in the right spot at the right time, learning exactly what they need to. So
I agree. I totally agree. Here's the other side of it with regards to a sovereign. A true sovereign can be anything and anyone they want to be. And why I claim the titles and offices of anyone that wants to claim them, because they're no greater or less than I. So, you know, Jorge Bergoglio, a.k.a. Pope Francis, yeah, you want to claim the title, I'll claim it too. Queen of England, yeah, I'll claim that. President of the United States, I'll claim that too. Prime Minister of Canada, yeah, sure, that's mine. They're all mine. I can be anything I want to be. I will not allow myself to be at effect to something external with regards to who's who. You know, we all get caught up in that, what do you call that? I call it starstruck moment where just because someone may be a little better known than someone else, they get this gaga thing going on, which for me is kind of, I can't even describe it. I think the closest thing to it was when I met Kenny Rogers the first time. The thing that overwhelmed me about that was the fact that my late mother loved this guy, and that was the overwhelming feeling. But you know, to me, he was a cool cat. He was all right. He was good. You know, he got up that morning and he didn't ask for permission to pee. Neither did I. So that makes us both the same. I don't get starstruck with people. I just kind of correlate concepts. You know, I don't put anyone above me or below me. That's been the whole thing with my songwriting and songwriter stage and what have you. It was about leveling the stage. And as I often said, I don't care if Shania Twain wants to play the Songbird Cafe. She's got to play the Songwriter Cafe first, just like everybody else, you know. And that applies to anybody. You know, I will not allow anyone to put pedestals under me or anyone else. And you've heard me, they probably lost count of how much I absolutely loathe the concept of pedestals. That's why this table is level. Everyone sits at it equally. Everyone shares at it equally, and it better be something good that's worthwhile. You know, if you're gonna bring a pile of steaming dog shit to our buffet, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say no, thank you, and I'll mute the mic. You know, just like our narcissistic friend there from the '50s sounding thing. That was weird. So there you go. I've got a few more lines to open up here, so I want to get everybody open here. Area code 847, and that doesn't mean to say you can't talk. Just be mindful when we bring someone new in, let them have a little say, and then we keep the table chatter going, and that's how we work this. So area code 847.
Yes.
Hey, there you are. How are you?
Hi, Kate. Hey, Kate, I'm doing great. I definitely see the magic happening, like you said. Everything is just unfolding so quickly now. I can't believe how far I've come from last year at this time. It's just happened so fast, and I'm just grateful for you and Santos and the community that I've been connecting with, you know, especially virtually, because the people around my area are going a little slower than the people that I know virtually.
That's because you're the lighthouse.
Okay.
See, that's the thing.
The beacon on.
I want to make that point to everybody. You know how we've all felt alone, that there was no one around us? Well, of course there was. And you're not going to put two lighthouses side by side. That's confusing. You're going to put one lighthouse far enough away from the next lighthouse, far enough away from the next lighthouse to steer all the ships home. So you're the lighthouse, so get used to it. Well done.
All right. I love that. Thank you. I'd also love to hear, for the winter solstice, we surrounded ourselves with, just open-minded people at least, and did new traditions like we've never done before in the past. We did some meditations, things like that, and Christmas is coming up, or Crucifix Day, and we don't want to do,
Day.
Of course. Crucifixion Day. Yeah.
That was solstice, by the way.
The same tradition.
Yeah.
Oh, right, exactly. And now the sun will be born again, the 25th. So
that's all of us.
Do the new tradition. Yes, us. And is there, there's no real place. Of course, I've been reading a lot of books and, to change it up and do the right thing. I want to be doing the right things. Is it just all meditation, every tradition? Of course, I'm not, falling for the lamestream of what I'm supposed to be doing. I want to do the true meaning and the right thing. Is there a certain direction you or Santos can direct everyone to?
Well, all I'm going to say is follow your heart. Do what feels right.
Okay.
Exactly. I'd like to say he's spot on there. I was going to say the same thing. Exactly. Follow the heart. And it's not. And as Kate was saying right beforehand, he dislikes pedestals. So the whole idea of asking for Santos or Kate, that's wrong. You have to go home. You have to find yourself, and you have to create that ideal situation that you would like to find yourself in every day. Surround yourself with the people you love. That kind of thing. Create your harmonious place for yourself. That's what I would say.
Gotta steer the ship.
Well,
steer the ship is exactly right.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yeah. You're the lighthouse, so there's a nice point to think on. You're the lighthouse, and the energy that you are emitting, this is why those that are here need to understand the power you're wielding, because you came here as the lighthouse. You always knew you were going to be. And don't tell me you didn't, because you always knew you had a very special role to play. Come on, tell me you didn't, and I'll call you a liar, right? You've always known this.
Yes.
We all of us at this table have always known this. What we're doing now is finally stepping into that. This is my lighthouse. I am going to fire the light up, and what's happening when you fire the light up, all the ships, the minds around you, you are affecting them. Your intention, that's why I say follow your heart. Your intention is 10,000-fold greater from the heart than you could ever get from the mind. So when you put that out, your field of influence, typically, they talk, it's measurable, by the way. It's actually physically measurable. But I don't want to put limitations on it. But typically, when you get in that zone, your range of influence is anywhere from, with some people, a few hundred feet up to 1,500 miles. And I always get the visual of the entire planet. That's where my field of influence is. Yeah.
Hey, have you ever listened to that guy, Dan Winter? He gets into the heart coherence and all of that stuff. And even if, not buying into all of the things that he talks about, he gets into, amplifying the heart's intention and, vibing with nature and all of that to interact with everybody around. So he's got some useful little videos you can find online, things like that might help people just looking to get into it. And he does a lot of explaining, so we can save the explaining.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Dan Winter. I know a lot of the ones that you were talking about in terms of the angles and storms and how. What's that?
Yeah, he's got some. I just said he's got some useful info. It's
oh yeah, and with the eyes that you all have, you're going to be looking at it entirely differently from a God aspect instead of just a literal meat stick, right? So that's why I say when people get stuck in the literal, I'm only listening allegorically because I know that left brain monkey chatter is going to keep going, but it's going to tell me the truth. You see, that's the thing. It doesn't matter what I pick up to read. It doesn't matter what book or what anyone says to me. I listen and see different ears and eyes because I'm looking as to how it pertains in my game, in my experience, in my allegory because, well, if I was God, and I am, that's what I do. And it's only relevant. Everything that you are hearing is, in the allegorical sense, is only relative to you and relevant to you.
It's like an echo back. Yeah, it's like an echo back of the answer you need.
Exactly. Everything you need is hidden in plain sight. We just needed to open our eyes to see it. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
actually, Kate,
go ahead.
We need to remove the filters from our eyes and our ears so that we are unfiltered in the world.
You get it.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
yeah,
this is Yeah, this is quite the table tonight. So I've got 3 others I want to bring in here. I've got Randy. Let's bring Randy in.
I love you guys. This is great.
Hey, Randy.
Love you
how
too.
are you?
Oh, man, it's been so long.
I know where you've been.
I have been ensconced in 3D life at restaurant, action. Man, the guy who called, I guess you could say it was a guy, but the being, I guess, who called, years ago, I actually, when he called, I started laughing. But years ago, I would have been in a fear mode. But I just started laughing because whatever that was, they're so just far gone and lost. And they themselves are scared, so the only thing they can do is attempt fear in others. And psychologically, right, from an actor's point of view, if I'm playing the role, that's how I'm going to play it. Because I know how you are. I know how you think, and you're lost. And I just started laughing. My God. Bring it on, boy. Bring it on. The jig is
and the
up.
good news is, I'm not sure if they're still on the call or not. I put them on hold. But the good news is, I've got them thinking about kangaroos. See the power of thought? This is why when you decide to put your own thought, your own intention into things and allowing another to create your reality or universe for you, that's when you can say yes or no. That's when you make not the free will choice, but the true will choice, where you will only accept your truth. That's it. There are no exceptions to that one for me. None.
Right.
I don't know what else I can say on that. It's pretty simple, but you're absolutely right. I'm listening to this guy going, okay, sounds like a really bad Rod Serling Twilight Zone episode, but, let's play this out and see what else is going on. And, but you're right. And these people, if this is the level of effect they think they have, they are such a far cry from reality, and they haven't got the foggiest clue as to who and what they are, and they're caught in their own psychosis. Sorry about that, guys, but that's just the way it is.
They are.
It's not something I would do personally, but that's that's what you want to do. That's your choice, and those are the seeds you're planting. And get on, yeah. Unfortunately, they're not for you. They're not going to affect me. They're just going to come back bouncing in your mirror and biting your ass. That's what the golden rule is all about. Yeah. So let's bring some. Hang in there, Randy. I'm just going to get the last 2 lines open here, and then everyone can have a free for all. I think I've got Alvita here, 443.
Yes, you do. Hello.
All right, baby. How are you? And I got one more. I got area code 727. Let's bring you into the call.
Hello.
And hello. Oh, and I've got it looks like Colleen. So finally, Colleen, where the hell have you been? All right, there we go. Oh, and Mark. No, everyone's putting their hands up now. All right, so we got Mark, Colleen, Elvita, and Randy, and area code 727. I'm not familiar with that one. And we're good to go.
All right. Well, I just want to say real quick, the table is on cruise control of love, light, and peace, and it sounds great. Thank you, everybody.
Love you, Alvita. You always seem to just nail it right where it needs to be nailed, dead center or right on the cross.
All right. Next.
Perfect. Thanks, hon. Next.
Beautiful, Alvita.
Thank you.
Hi, Kate.
Hey, Colleen, how are you? And I heard you, Chris.
Hi,
so
everyone.
jump in on the next in between there, okay? The floor is yours. Colleen, go ahead, hon.
Okay, I've been around every night. I haven't gotten on for a few weeks. I just wanted to get on tonight and just say, just connect into all this love at the table and just, gosh, how do you express gratitude for what you and Santos and others here at this table, all of us, we all have a part, but just what you and Santos have been doing, and it's been a wild ride the last couple of months, hasn't it?
Oh, that's understatement, sweetheart. But it's glorious.
It is glorious. I always go to that. I love to say it's excruciatingly blissful because of all the incredible, beautiful things going on, and at the same time the really huge challenges that we're having to look at. So just so much gratitude, and I just wanted to say that I don't know if you've said this before, Kate, but you know how sometimes you'll hear something and then it's just that perfect timing that you'll hear it again and it sinks in. You get it. And you were saying that every time we make a choice, we are going into a spiritual contract. And that just got me so deep the other day. And how really being present and focused and grounded to really be aware of what kind of agreements that we're getting into, and that they're not just, on autopilot, that we don't even know what we're doing, to just be really responsible. And so I just wanted to share that really went in deep with me the other day.
That's one of the most fundamental things, if not the most fundamental thing with me, because thought is creation, and anything that you agree with another in their creation or yours is a contract. And how we manifest that in the physical, by our actions, we are known. Right? So what we do in thinking first, we have to think of something first. Just like someone that's telekinetic who can, say, light a match from across the room. Well, what did they do to create that? Well, it was the intent and thought that was created first to create the physical effect. All things physical are all things effect. All things spiritual are all things cause. So you will either live in the Whore of Babylon, in the physical, the five senses, hell, if you will, for a lack of a better word, which is what it is, or you choose heaven and the spiritual ka, you, say, el. Okay? That's a spirit of... spirit with intent, masculine intent, electricity, say of himself, herself, itself, with that full-on L power of L. I equate to the same allegory as, say, the Holy Spirit. It's the culmination of the power. So there you go. You can be causal or affected. I'm good with the cause thing now. That's why you got to be the master and commander of your own ship, your own mind, your own helm. And when you take over your own flagship and you say that no one else will steer your ship for you, that's your mind. That's when you become very mindful of all the agreements and you start hearing people differently. You start hearing how they are getting you into contracts and you're unwitting about it. Yeah, that's why everyday conversation, people are speaking mindlessly. That's what they mean by Babylon. You just babble on, and that's how this is created. Now, the other thing that came across, too, the Tower of Babel, and what it was representative of, and why it was destroyed, was man's desire to climb out of the Tower of Babel. And the other interesting story I heard about that once was the fact that they were trying to get the tower high enough so they could observe the heavens unobstructed. So they could be proper astrotheologists like Santo.
Well, when you really get it, that it is a spiritual contract. I mean, really go deep and drop into that. I mean, like you said, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And,
I was just going to say about Tobias, right? What he would say, feel that for a minute.
Yes. And I would just encourage everyone and support in, going deep, dark, and in the quiet, especially right now, the last days of the dark winter. And, we just came through solstice, but, it really is a time to go in and, rejuvenate.
This is the 3 days of darkness the Mayans talk about. We're in it right now, and the resurrection, whether you choose to be, is on, well, according to the Gregorian, it's on Wednesday. Isn't it interesting? Oh, by the way, Santo, I did want to bring this up with you as well. In the moment of now, it is midday all the time. It's midnight all the time, too, and apparently it's 1 p.m. and 1 a.m. and 10 after 3 all the time. That's the illusion of time and chronos, because the sun is in the midday sky somewhere, is it not?
Always, that's right. And I would symbolically keep it at 12 midday. That is the best place to have any planet, period, in your chart, and that's the midheaven. That's where, most of the glory in the life comes. Now, if you don't have anything in the 10th house, fear not. Just look at the sign that is there and have a look at its planet, its ruler, and see where it is. And that will tell you how it is you get things done in your life path. But, the sun in the midheaven, that's the sun. That's, Jordan Maxwell, I remember he taught me this years ago, that, the sun the Father Most High is simply talking about the sun at midday, and the other fathers, the father this and the father that, all those epithets there, they apply to the sun in different positions. But the sun most high is midday. So I would recommend to everybody to have the sun at 12 o'clock midday in your lives all the time, illuminating you. And as Proclus said, the sun is the illuminating intellect of the mind principle. That's what it is.
So in my moment of now, it is always midday, because it is always midday, as can be proven anywhere on this planet, as this planet supposedly rotates and what have you. So just a little thought that I thought I'd pass along to see if it resonates with people, and if once they get the concept, well, gosh darn, if we're not running midday at all points, 24 hours a day. It's an interesting point, though. It doesn't matter. Somewhere on this planet right now, it is absolutely 12 noon. At all points of the clock, all day, regardless of what it looks like outside. Don't be fooled by the dark or the light. Do not be fooled by the physical illusion. Get the concept, and it's all good.
So midday is 12 o'clock noon.
12 noon. Yep.
12 noon. And what would you say would be the real significance of that? Like on the spiritual level?
That's where the sun is at the highest.
Mm-hmm.
At the highest point. Sano's the best one to describe that in terms of the sine wave. When the sun is at midday, astrologically, what does it mean?
Yeah, well, it is on top of the mountain. You've got to look at the glorious point of the sun when it reaches June the 21st. There's many reasons why the top of the sine wave is the most glorious point. And all astrologers, they first look to the 10th house to see what's going on there in the chart, to see what's really going on in the person's life. Then they look at the ascendant, the first house. The MC, the 10th house, those two are the most important telling houses, because the first house is basically pertaining to the individual, whereas the 10th house pertains to the individual's path, career, or so to speak. And so when the sun, reaches midday, he's climbed the mountain. And of course, on June the 21st, when it reaches the solstice, the longest day of the year, there he begins to conjunct his mother, Isis, the brightest star in the sky. So whenever the sun is on that solstice in between Gemini and Cancer, on June the 21st, we know that Gemini, the deacon of Gemini, is Canis Major and the big dog, and we know that Sirius is the brightest star in the big dog. She is the dog. And so the astrologers know that when they are conjunct, the sun and his mother Isis, then come the dog days. Well, the dog days, the hot, very hot portion of summer, is due to that conjunction. And a conjunction is a conjugation, i.e. a marriage. So Jesus is marrying his mother, and which brings me to the title of my next presentation, hold your ears if you've got weak ears, but I'm going to call it Jesus Christ the Motherfucker, and I'm going to prove that is the most recognized of all of his 2,000 epithets. That was one that was the most common in history, because everyone, period, all cultures waited for the conjunction of the sun with Sirius, especially the Egyptians, because then they knew that when he was conjugating with his mother, that's why you always see pictures of Osiris and the mother with Jesus, and you always hear about Nimrod having sex with Semiramis, his mother, Horus having sex with Isis, his mother, Jesus and Mary, and it's always that same thing. It's because the sun conjuncts her, and it's the most glorious part of the ecliptic, when the sun is with his mother. And that's the new. That's the title for next week's show too, by the way.
Yeah, and they tried to sidetrack the Jesus having sex with his mother by giving Mary a different name, Mary Magdalene. So it was still the same Mary. Okay, so don't be confused just because the name was different. That it's the concept that people need to get. And Bill Donahue does. There's another beauty right there. He does a great story on that as well. Covering that was beautiful.
Yeah, you imagine when the go, sister. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Santos.
Oh, just quickly, imagine when that goes on YouTube. You know, it's one of Santos Bonacci's new videos, Jesus Christ the Motherfucker.
Well, I got to tell you,
controversy.
Yeah, good promo, bad promo, as long as the message gets through.
No, I was just going to say, so then Mary Magdalene, she had to end up being the prostitute.
Yes.
As the story goes.
Yeah. Yeah, the one for standing, you see? Prostitution.
Yes.
For to stand, you see. Yeah, it's just a phonics coincidence, that's all. Again. and again, and again, and again, and it keeps going. So I just want to make sure everybody gets in here, guys. So bear with me. 847-952 and 727. Have you, you guys? I'm not sure if you've jumped in yet or not. So let's start with 952 because you're first on that list.
Yeah, I jumped in here.
Okay. All right. 847. Area code 847. Hello. Boat 847, come in. Your rental's up. No? Okay. The mic's open, so jump in when you feel like it, once you hear this. 727.
Okay, and that would be me, and I just... Thank you. I don't know if I can talk after the motherfucker.
Isn't that good, eh? You know, you got to be colorful and have fun with this, you know? That's why we're here.
That's why I keep coming back since I found you. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we have a little bit of fun here.
Lovely. I have giggled, and let me tell you, the audience, the websites, I'm getting a wonderful education, and I've watched lots of Santos's videos and stuff on YouTube before I discovered you, Kate, and I've been loving your website as well and reading your writings, so I feel like I'm getting a real education, and I don't want to miss a show.
Isn't it fun?
So I had to call in. Yeah, it is. I had to call in through my phone line because I'm not able to do the Skype, and when you've pulled me in, I can't get my mic to close. I don't know how to mute it temporary. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now I knew.
So
it's
anyway.
Susie. How are you?
Yes.
Took me a second. I'm going.
Me.
Oh, I know who that is. Susie.
Yeah.
I even know the last name.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I just have to call on the Akashic. Who is that? Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No hiding now.
No, it's all good, friend.
I'm out.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. Thank you. Not putting you on a pedestal, but I'm just so excited.
No.
I'm so excited and thankful that you guys are paving the way for all of us to follow.
We're just clearing the weeds of the roads we've already walked. That's all.
Yeah.
We've all walked the road. And you were the hero in the movie once, and You are. You're the hero of your own movie. So this is why, for me, pedestals are, well, beyond idiotic, because it's like it's like this. We're all kind of revolving, taking turns of playing this game, and you all know this. You all know you're the hero of this story. You know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Tell me that does not resonate with you. You are the absolute superstar hero of your movie. Yes or no?
Yeah.
See?
I'm my own star.
When you get that, that's what it means to be light. That's when you get to become the star, the divine feminine, the creator. You're the director, producer. You're fulfilling all roles in the movie, extras included, and you are the audience. You become the all-encompassed all in your movie, and it's just I don't know why people would even want to be any part of this system when they know this.
They have an example of that's like right in that Harry Potter movie, the last one, where he's like, it's in the white room, and he's like, this is your show. It's literally in that kid's movie. Like, they try to tell people in such an occult way, and they think that it's just this little wizard movie thing, but it's like, even there, they're trying to tell you right there.
Yeah. Like even these, psychotic roles that are being played, like pedophiles and all the rest of it, this is still our consciousness. This is still part of our drama. In order to find how beautiful we are, we must also see how ugly we are, to get that contrast. And that's all this game is to me, is contrast.
Right.
So we're just looking for more bliss. So the more evil that we perceive and see and go, no, I don't like that, what do we get? We get the mirror reflection of the absolute beauty contained within it. So that's why I have gratitude for everything. I see the gratitude in what I have been through. And I have my days and I have my moments. I'm still human. I'm still working through things, and this is why I love doing this, because we all get to sit at this table, and I get to spill my guts as far as my experience goes, and then you guys can come in and do the same thing, and we experience this together, and it becomes very real for us. And that's it. And for me, it is more important for me just to be you. There's nothing special about me, and there's everything special about me, just like you. And I'm just trying to show how you are so special, and you've been missing it. I'm just here to, my main goal and thrust at this table is this. I'm here to empower you, because we do this together.
That's right.
You're here.
Woo-hoo. No more divide and conquer. Yeah, jump in.
Hey, it's Mike. Just got back into the house, and somehow I got my sister to jump on. I said, hey, you got to get on here, open it up. So when I finally get home, and I get to hear you and Santos and all these lovely people. Beautiful. Thank you. You guys make my heart sing.
Isn't it fun? Are we having a good time? I got to try to bring Christopher back in here, too. I just noticed he fell off. I was wondering why he hadn't jumped in yet. So just give me a second here, guys. Carry on, talk. I can walk and chew gum here.
Kate, I just had a download about something you said a little while earlier. You said we moved lateral on the timeline. What was the cause of that?
On the timeline to move lateral, that's how we move. We move lateral. People, this is the problem with linear time. They got you thinking that there's a future and a past. No, there's not. There's only now, and the only way you can move through now is sideways. You got to get sideways on this shit. You got to kill, right? Sideways, kill the name, right? So that for me was a big clue as to the lateral concept of this game. So what we're doing is we have infinite realities paralleling. And what we're doing, this is why the technology of, quote, time jumping can work in a linear sense, because we were not aware of the lateral. So what I'm doing now is going lateral across, and the timeline, I'm literally bending the sine wave into my timeline. And everyone that joins in on that is we're part of our timeline. This is our timeline. And what we're doing is shifting the reality outside of us as a result. This is why we have to do this together.
Like a Magneto.
Pretty much.
Like a giant force that draws everything together.
Exactly.
Bring it up.
What I try to do is when I get a concept in, I try to kind of proof it up. I usually have body emotions that go along with the elements of the concept. And if you're riding a sine wave, you're going up and down. So if you bend your knees, you're up and down. But if you're moving sideways, as you bend your knees up and down, you're making a circle. And if you're traveling in a distance or a linear fashion while you're doing that, you're actually on a spiral.
Now you're seeing creation. Look at you go. Show off.
Now, if you put your axis in your belly button and spin yourself around as you do that, you've added another dimension to that. And then if the axis goes to the top of your head to the bottom of your feet and you spin yourself around, you're doing 360 degrees as you spiral through the universe.
Exactly. And now you're seeing creation for the first time. And this is why those that get stuck in the physical trying to, figure it out or try to solve things with physical, that to me is just pure Atlantean. How did that work out? Yeah, I didn't think that was a good idea either. I don't do the same shit over again. That's called insanity. So there you go. And Chris, you're back in the call. Sorry, I get get going on this and I get distracted and don't see people posting. So my apologies for not seeing that sooner.
You got Anya on the line by any chance? She's also having trouble.
Oh, who were you looking for?
Anya, A-N-J-A.
Have not got her on the line.
She's in the Kate main room.
Yeah, I know who Anya is. I can try to add her to the call here. So just give me a second here. Wrong one. Try.
By the way, your site is blocked in Sweden. That's what I saw on her computer.
Good. They don't like truth, do they? There you go. There's the allegorical proof of how dangerous this bitch is.
Isn't there some central something Illuminati there? Some kind of crap? What's in Switzerland? Is it the banking or gold or something?
Well, Santo, jump all over that one.
Look, they're everywhere. Look, in Switzerland. Are you talking about Switzerland? Yeah.
We've got the Pope, and then we've got Switzerland, and then we've got Venice, and all of that with the insurance. I know we've got these main central spots. So where do they fit in? Yeah.
Well, you know how the Swiss Guard look after the Vatican, right? Once upon a time, the ones who looked after the Roman elite were the Praetorian Guard. Now it's the Swiss Guard because they, in fact, run the show. They are protecting their money interests down in the Vatican because all the pedophile scum of the Rabbanim bar actually come from the Temple Bar, and those entities are in Switzerland. That's why that place is a sovereign state, and that's why they're always neutral, because they're the ones that foment all the wars. That's where the warmongers actually direct all the wars. Together with the other three cities, London City, Vatican City, and DC. Don't forget Luxembourg in there. Lux, remember? Okay, that's another part of that puzzle. Oh yeah, look, you can extend this. It's an octopus. What they do is they have different arms of everything, branches of the same one monster all over the planet. So Switzerland serves as, you'll find that all the snipers and mercenaries and killers that work for Mossad, CIA, they all have holiday homes and resorts in Switzerland. It is the most corrupt place on the planet. Yeah. Go.
No, I just said son of a bitch.
Oh yeah,
those guys suck. I never realized this. I never realized Swiss Guard. That makes sense. Duh.
Yeah, we talked about that one in quite a bit of detail. Yeah, Swiss Guard ties back to Universal Postal Union, and of course the Hague is the Universal Postal Union Court, and the Pope, of course, heads up the Hague and heads up the Universal Postal Union. This is why this whole postal thing and how it ties together to these spiritual contracts is so critical to unveil, but it's unveiled now. So when we unveil something in thought, merely thought, this is why I need you to know how powerful you are. When you have an aha moment, you have had that moment for the entirety of the universe. This is why you stay the course. I tell people that all the time. Stay the course. The course say, the heart of himself, herself, itself. And when you know this, when you really know this, why do you think I'm so diligent and constantly, this is all I do, because I am constantly searching for these things that are going to lift one more veil, one after the other, and that is my driven passion. And I got to say, for a Gemini to be this focused, I think it's kind of a rare thing, being mutable air. And this was one of the I had to condition myself in.
Yes, it's rare for us, Kate. It's very rare.
Yes. Yeah, there's another one, Randy.
Right on.
Awesome.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know, I actually been to Switzerland, and the people there, I couldn't put my finger on it, but they are very strange people to meet. They're very withdrawn, very kind of, I don't even know what the word is. I just found it very, very weird being in there. Being in I think it was Geneva, I think it was in Geneva when I went there.
Yeah, the Gene Va, Genesis to go. Yeah. How about the other one, Bern? Yeah, Bern, Switzerland. Yeah, of course it is. What about the CERN Collider? Where is it? It's in Bern, Switzerland. Oh, it's up there. And of course, why do you think I do the big call out on the Swiss Indo Trust? Are you kidding me? Oh, come on, guys, get original on your COINTELPRO. Okay, we already know what you're doing. The carrots aren't big enough. Sorry, I am not selling my soul for anything in your physical meat stick reality. So quit trying to think I'm going to play 3-card Monty with, because I'm not. Your game's over. I'm done. Finito.
Right on. I just want to add that my licentious plates on my truck will expire on the 31st. So there you have it, folks.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what happens there is this is the joy of something expiring, because if they're expired, they're not valid. Your plates are not valid, so they cannot take them and use them against you. You see, it's only when you're acting in commerce with tagged plates that they can pull you over, because that's a tax. If you're paying tax, you're a citizen. This is, the traps are everywhere, and you got to get the concepts. Even when you go into a store to pay for something and they have a state or a provincial tax, sales tax, or whatever, with me it's nullified to the point that I reverse all of that. That anything that is deemed tax within anything, and there's tax upon tax upon tax in everything you want to buy anyway, that I reverse that spell, that whoever is gaining from that tax, that it is 1,000-fold negative to them. So yeah, by all means. For me, it's about reversing everything. It's about flowing all of the little tricks and traps back at them, and I just put that into my thinking. And once it's there, once you have the thought, you know this to be true. Once you know a truth, there's no giving it back. You know it. So just know it.
So
don't
true.
Believe it. Know it.
And just to update you, you do recall I received 2 little yellow cards from the city of Wichita. That's in Kansas in the USA. If anyone's welcome to send them their loving documents that Kate has made us. In fact, just plunder them. Just send them all, everybody. And so I sent, I did what we do, and I put it back in there and then taped it up, because it was a bit of cardboard, 8.5 by 11. And the writing on the inside, and then they folded it in half nicely and neatly and put tape on the 3 edges. Well, I just cut one, did my paperwork, put my signet on it, and I even put a little urine on it for them. And no signature, obviously, right? And I haven't heard a thing. It's been, a month and a half? I'm not going to hear a thing. They can't do a thing.
It's amazing when you put intent into something. This is the part I'm trying to show people, and thank you for confirming it yet again. Once you put the intent into something, once you know what you're doing, you see, everything that I've written is absolutely useless if you don't know what it is. And that's why people have asked me, well, your documents worked for this person, it didn't work for me. Well, okay, have you read the stuff? Well, no. Okay, well, don't expect it to. That's the thing. People are still thinking that they can just use a physical gimme effect to save their sorry asses without actually having to do anything and do any thinking and take responsibility for their thoughts. No, you have to take responsibility for your thoughts, get the concepts. Then what you're doing is you're putting your intent out in a physical form. Until then, you're an effect to the effect. You can only be caused when your intent is in line with what's actually on the paper.
Yeah, until you get it, you're actually kind of causing a problem in a way, even if you don't intend to. It's just because you're not aware of the energy you're sending out. So it's kind of got to be responsibly managed in that way, I guess, right?
Yeah, you've got to get it. You've got to get it, and this is why. And these aren't difficult concepts to get. This is the joke of it. It's so very simple. Once you know who you are yielding your God position, your God status.
Want to hear two real-world examples that are actually kind of funny, but they're real? And it's after I figured this all out, put out the intention, I had a serious ticket in my car, which was for speeding down something like crazy in the middle of the night, probably like 60 miles over the speed limit. State trooper followed me, pulled me over. I wouldn't give him any information. I was sitting in the driveway of the house I grew up in, but I didn't tell him anything. I was like, what's the problem? I didn't do anything. He's like, you're going fast. And I was like, no, I wasn't. I didn't see anything. And he was like, all right, well, here you go, and gave me this bogus ticket. I put out the intention, literally, when I went into answer to it or whatever, I went in and there was a room full of people. They called aside. 4 people. It was literally like a woman with a baby crying that was like, I stopped at the stop sign. And when I got up there, I'm like, I'm screwed. The guy was like, guilty, guilty, guilty. And I get up and he's like, sir, we lost your paperwork. Good day. And I was like, what? And he was like, sir. Yeah. And I was like, well, I have a copy of the ticket. And he's like, we lost everything. Good day, sir. Thank you. And I just literally walked out of the room and walked away. And the guy high-fived me at the security post on the way out. And I skipped down the steps. That really happened. It was a serious ticket.
Well done. You passed your God test. Thank you.
And then there's another example I got to think of, but that was just ridiculous. I just had to share that. So it works. I mean, you got to put out the test and see what happens. If you really know what you're doing, it comes back positive, and then all your bad karma ends up fixing itself, and then you're on the right path. So it works.
Merry Crucifixion.
Hey, Kate.
Yes, Colleen.
Okay. I was going to say, I have many stories like he just told and like Chris told earlier, and I'm sure many, if not most people listening do too. That might be kind of a fun thing to share, maybe like on Christmas Day.
Sure, that works. I'm in. You know me.
Okay.
Let's play. What a perfect day to spend crucifixion. Well, actually, what a perfect day to spend the resurrection, where we all come back to life.
Well, it's a perfect day to show our power.
Exactly. Why do you think everything I'm going to be sending out via email is going to go out on Christmas Day? Merry Crucifixion to you. See, here's the thing, guys. And we're almost out of time. We got like 3 minutes here, but I just want to say this for you guys. My wish is for you to see your power, for you to finally see your power that you wield, that there is no need or reason for fear, that fear is the illusion. And when you step into that power and you decide that you are your master and that you will serve no other, you put that intent out, then start walking in it. Watch your universe shift to such a degree you won't believe it, but you better, because it's true. And you'll know. You won't have to be convinced of it. You'll see it for yourself, and then you're going to say, that mouthy, tranny bitch was right. I don't need to be right. I just found this, and I'm just trying to share this one piece of truth with all of you. You are the most enlightened, most powerful aspects in the universe, and I can prove it. If you can hear my voice, you're me, and I'm you. We're all Ka-Ti, spirit of love, right? I'm just a clue.
That is truth right there.
Yeah, I am just a clue, a nail in that coffin. French for nail is clou.
It's so true. The employees I hire at the restaurant, I now have one who only gives me grief. One. And it started out, it was damn near all of them. And I just created this environment. Health department came in the other day. I know my brother still wants to be in their jurisdiction. That's something that
that's his choice.
That's his choice. He owns the restaurant. I respect that. And we had nothing. They had nothing. They had nothing. Clean, spotless, everything in working order, blah, 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 up yours. And I told the guy, I said, normally if someone came in, I told my brother I'd put them in my common law jurisdiction. And he looked at me and didn't say anything. And then as he was leaving, he was talking to my brother, and I was standing there, and he said, be careful. And I looked at him and smiled. I said, you too? And my brother said, what was that about? And he said, I told him, I said, He said, don't do that shit to me. Don't get me into trouble. I said, don't worry. I won't. I still want to file paperwork for him, but it is his path. You know what I'm saying?
Again, don't step on anyone else's willingness to fall flat in their face. The measure of your game is going to be the measure of your crucifixion. Those of us that have already been through the crucifixion are very, very happy to be on the other side of it. I would not want to be looking forward to that. Thank you. And on that note, I'm going to end it here because we're almost out of time. Santo, great big thank you. Final shout out from you, my friend.
Yeah, look, Merry Christmas to all the good-hearted ones, the ones who are shining light. And as for the rest, the pedophiles and the ones who are intent to do harm, Merry kiss my ass.
I love it.
Good one, Sam.
Okay, that's it. There's nothing going to top that. Amen, indeed. Well, listen, guys, we'll catch you tomorrow. Don't forget, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, Outside the Box, Three-Face Edition on criticalmassradio.co.uk, and, of course, back at the table tomorrow night, 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time here, and I'm hoping that, Santo, you'll join us again tomorrow night. Might as well. Yep. Let's finish this 3 days of darkness off properly, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Much love to everybody. Take care.
So
and
much
we'll talk to you
love.
tomorrow.